Oh shoot, let me see. It's not telling me. Am I live? I am. Okay. Wait, fuck, shit. Hold on. My channel. Chat. Wait, what's the title of it? It didn't. It's still Werner Herzog hours. Shit. Hold on. Fuck. Chat. Is anyone here? I'm testing this out. I'm on my MacBook Air, which is very slow. And does not give me a chat for some reason. How's it doing? So the only thing I could manage is webcam as well as microphone. There will be no videos to stream. How's everyone doing? Chat. Hello. Okay, it's working. Is this fine? I can't tell on my end. Speedo Spank, thank you for the 7 months. I don't have alerts set up either, because this is just OBS. It was not working on Streamlabs, because like the MacBook Streamlabs thing is shit. So yeah, this is. I guess I can wait. You can see the video. It's fine. Okay, that's the bar at the moment. Can you see me? Is the audio in sync? That's about it. I am currently sitting on my suitcase because the move was successful, as you can see. I'm no longer at the CIA headquarters. I'm somewhere else. You didn't get a notif? Oh, weird. Maybe it's. Can I edit the title for my phone? Let me see. OBS sucks. I'm glad I use Streamlabs usually. Oh yeah, it's Labor Day. Right, I forgot. Yeah, I'm about to start classes, which is exciting. I guess it is early. I changed my time zone. Oh, my MacBook is really not dealing with this very well. I changed my time zone. It's 3 p.m. for me, so I guess I'll usually stream 3 hours early now, I guess. Cause yeah, I'm Eastern Standard now. I'm in Ontario. How's everybody doing? Are there any mods? Can you change the title? I don't know how to do this for my phone. Wait, can I? Oh, that's me. I don't want to hear myself. Great news for Eurozoom. We love to see it. It's 7:20. Okay, this isn't that bad. Can I edit from my phone? Hona Jonage, thank you for the tier 2, 10 months. Hona Jonage, thank you for the tier 2. There is no notifs again because I'm running this on OBS and I did not know how to set it up. Jesus, that's a very hot CPU. Yeah, the place is nice. I don't have any furniture, so it's going to be embarrassing if I show it, but it's good. I did move. I am now in Ontario, which is why I haven't been streaming. My real computer is still in the mail because I shipped it, and I hope nothing breaks because it's nice. It should be fine because it's like a pre-built, so it's like made to be shipped. And I think it comes like, I think it's next week. Is it the 14th? Oh no, it's Thursday. It comes on Thursday, on the 9th. So I'll stream today like this, and then Wednesday. Maybe I'll try it on my phone on Wednesday. That might actually be better. Actually, probably not. I don't know. Because I have you can see my big ass microphone that is not meant to be like held like this. This isn't supposed to be done this way. But I'm making do because I do not have a mic stand either. My furniture, because I do have furniture, is being moved in tomorrow. So I've just been, the first night I got here, I slept on clothes, and then I just went and got a fucking air mattress that I've been sleeping on. So it's extremely damn bitch you live like this situation. Um, did I miss any narratives? No, I didn't. Um, oh, would you like the QA? Yeah. When did that drop? That was fun. I want to do one. Nomos. Thank you for the 14 months. It does look like this feels weird. Like I feel like I am doing a stand-up routine. I don't like it at all. I cannot tolerate stand-up. I'm also not funny enough. But if I was, it's too nerve-wracking. Just going up making people laugh. I don't like it. Where's the flag? Oh yeah, I do have a trans flag. I'll probably put it up. I don't know where the Soviet one went. I think it got lost in a couple moves back. Yeah. Influencer Liv Arc. Yes, let's go. The location. It is sort of a strange apartment. Like, what is the impression of it based on this? But it's nice. It's big-ish, so I'll take it. There's a big problem in Kingston because there was a bunch of people coming and it's university town. It's hard to find. Yes, it's worth $3 million, and I of course bought it just to flex on Hassan. I can't afford it, but I want to own him just for getting more views than I do. Looks like there's nothing behind the curtains. Oh, those are windows. I can hold on. I don't think I will dox myself if I open them. Let's see. It's some nice brick. We love a brick wall, don't we, folks? I do have a view this way, which I will not show you because then you would know where I lived. I know that brick wall. Yeah, exactly. Why does it? Oh, did Mike raid? Oh no! Thank you for the raid, Mike. Oh shit! This is the worst stream. Thank you so much. I just moved and I only have a fucking MacBook Air to stream on, so there's no React. This is a live stand-up special. Thank you. So I hope you had a good stream, Mike. This is, I guess, the bonus of going on Eastern time, is when I go live at 3, it's early enough. Yeah, so true. Yeah. No, I hope you had a good stream. What has happened recently in politics? If you do not know who I am, Liv, pronoun she, her, the communist streamer, you know, all that good stuff. Canadian. Oh, we can talk about the election. That's good. Oh, what's to do with airplane food? It's Matt Crispin riff cam. I think Matt is better at it than I am. Good on the QA podcast. Thank you. Texas. Oh yeah, Texas as well. I'm in a CIA black site. Yes. You had an election already? We did not. We're having it on the 20th. And it looks like Trudeau might lose. Oh yeah, we have to edit the Langley. Yeah. Which is genuinely, it's complicated. Do you think the Libs are gonna win? I think that's still the most likely outcome. There's 2 models that I was looking at, and I'm gonna pull the fucking. Should I try to do that? No, I'm not gonna do that. Just showing it to you on my phone or something. There are 2 main models that I've been looking at because I love Nate Silver. He's so cool. I love looking at models and graphs for polls. Olingus, thank you for the 20 months. And one of them says 338, which is what we were looking at before, says that the Conservatives have a better chance of winning, which is concerning. And also, I will say, kind of funny. Just the idea that this is how Trudeau goes out where he's like just an incredibly incompetent. Condition Blaine, thank you for the tier 3. 21 months. Condition Blaine, thank you for the tier 3. 21 months. I have to say it for every tier. I say it again. Condition Blaine, thank you for the tier 3. Oh shit, there's a hype train. There are no Slate Tender, thank you for the gift sub, and Dirkus, thank you for the 8 months. There is no notifications because I just installed OBS on this and then connected it to my accounts. Oh shit, hold on. Crazy Gamer, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Gorman Bozo, thank you for the gift sub. Or thank you for subscribing for this chat. I'm using this is how I'm seeing it. You can see myself. Thank you for the 10 months. Oh, did you make my furry? Or is it prepared yet? I've decided, I guess. Sorry if I missed something. I can't really see this. That my persona is gonna be the floppa. Because why not? That's cool, right? So I believe someone was making a drawing for me. So that's cool. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. That the libs might because Trudeau called an election. If you are unfamiliar with Canadian politics, Trudeau has been doing relatively well in the polls because of like people. Am I gonna vote NDP? I'm writing in Hillary Rodham Clinton because I think it's her turn, and also because it doesn't matter because my writing is already decided. Do you think O'Toole win would delay prevent Conservatives from going hard right? That's interesting. I was thinking about that because she's a nasty woman. I like her. I like nasty, well-behaved women rarely make history, folks. Can I get the chat bigger? Sorry, this is like a lower quality stream than my first stream. I have worse tech as well, I guess, so that's why. The question about my prediction before was for Canadian politics was the next election, whenever it was going to happen. This is before it was like called for September 20th. Trudeau was going to win, and that would be the sort of last win that he had. That the Conservatives would look themselves in the mirror and say, well, we're going to have to get even more racist. And that's going to be their solution. And so they have their like Trump-esque figure, although Trump is like a world historically significant or unique politician somehow. And you can't reproduce him, but they'll have their attempt to reproduce Trump. And Trump would beat Trudeau. And then I would live in hell. And, as everyone is already also still living in hell. And that was my prediction. But it seems like recently Trudeau called a snap election because you can do that. Oh shit, somebody. Oh, Lingus, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. We love to see it, folks. What was I going to say? Canadian conservatives looking south of the border equals writing down notes. Exactly. I mean, Canadian politics is sort of... Actually, I wonder if this is better. If I turn this light on... No, that's worse. That's much worse. What am I doing? I think this is fine. Oh shit, there's another... Walking Mom, thank you for the 4 months. I don't think I missed anything. A minute left for the hype train, if you would like to contribute still. But it seems like voters are not particularly happy that Trudeau just called a snap election. Oh, Sunjockey, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you so much. I don't think I missed anyone. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. It's hard to navigate on this. Does anyone know? Can I get the chat by itself? Am I revealing anything there? I think that's fine. I don't know how... I never used Twitch on this. You can? Oh, shit. There's a chat-only mode. Okay. Can I go to... Oh, I see it. Awesome. Thank you. I did it. Look at me. Let me prop this up here so I don't have to... I sent a photo on the Discord of what my... Where was I? I sent a photo on the Discord of what my setup looks like. Yeah, and it's not. That was not a Kush fall. I dropped my phone, and is my phone okay? No. But it never has been. It's very slow. It's fine. Nothing broke. It's not a Matt share moment. Not yet. Not yet. There's plenty of time. I'm quite literally sitting on a. You can't see my name in any of this. A suitcase. Because all of my furniture comes on Tuesday. Who do I want to win? I still, if I could choose, which I guess that's how voting works. Is there a small desync? Absolutely. Actually, let me, hold on. I'm going to get something to, 1 second. See if I can't cool down my CPU. Because it's working overtime at the moment. This is very hard for the poor little MacBook. There's a new apartment, yeah. Of the single curtain. There is multiple. There's one on the right you can see right there as well. But yeah, my furniture comes on Tuesday. Which is a pain because like I went on Friday. I mean, this is just because I'm a fucking idiot. I moved on Friday, and I have furniture that's being stored, and there's like a storage company coming to move it in. But I had to wait the weekend, but then it's also Labor Day, so I can't do it now either. So I have to wait till tomorrow. Yes, new CIA assignments, exactly. What was I gonna say? I was talking about something before. I have multiple curtains on my socials. Well, they are red curtains, so I think it compensates. Looking like an airplane gallery. Oh yeah, I would, if I could choose, probably the libs. That sounds better. Although that is an interesting point about how like, because O'Toole is attempting to be like a respectable conservative. That's like, but the sign and live off houses. That's so true. Losing the best. No, I am renting, to be sincere. Sadly. Renting sucks. You just lose money. But anyways. What was I talking about? Yes, conservatives. This lighting is sort of shitty. Yeah, O'Toole is trying to be a respectable conservative. He's the conservative leader who may become the PM based on some of the electoral models, giving him a more than half of a chance. I believe the 338 model, which is just very explicitly like, yes, we are the Canadian Nate Silver. And of course, the Canadian Nate Silver, I forget his name, is French Canadian. Are we surprised? Empress Evelyn, thank you for the 500 bits. Is the Liberal Party win with support of NDP possible? Yes, I mean, the Liberals, you can form a government with multiple parties, so a coalition government. But I don't know how actually possible that is, or how likely that is, or how willing either the Libs or the NDP are if the Conservatives gain a plurality. Because to be able to do shit, you need more than half of the members of parliament. Pager, thank you for the gift sub. And so if you as a party have a majority, which Trudeau has a minority right now, a plurality government, Juice for Jesus, thank you for 100 bits. And the reason why I called the election was because people were viewing him favorably because of COVID, because people like thinking that their leaders are competent during a crisis. You can see like even Trump, who just objectively handled this incredibly poorly, like in April of 2020, he had a boost in popularity, right? Because it's like people want to believe, yeah. And so if things are relatively fine in comparison to other countries, people are going to, thank you for the hype train, everybody. And also thank you again to Central Committee, Mike from PA for rating. Hey, Mike, yes, this is basically stand-up. Also, can you change the title? I don't know how to change it on my phone. And it's not giving me an option on the OBS thing. To just whatever, whatever, you can make fun of me in the title or whatever you want. This is not Herzog Hours, sadly, no. That was last stream. It's the same title. What was I saying? Yeah, cue the Seinfeld music, etc. Um, yes, but it seems like maybe the conservatives, with their respectable conservative leader, will win. And if they do that, then my prediction that they would go hard to the right and try to appeal to like the Trump base, like the People's Party is, like with like Bernier, would be less likely. Because if they're winning, if they're respectable conservatives and they're winning, then the idea of like, well, we need a new party leader, we need to readjust the philosophy of the party. Yeah, that's great. That's funny, Maya. Thank you. That's so true. Um, yes, live from the CIA black site. Let me hold on. I'm trying to get. Hold on. I'm manually cooling my computer just to make sure it doesn't like fuck up because it's working overtime. It's not too bad, I guess. Yes, this is. I think this is the time that I'll normally stream because this is 3 p.m. on Eastern. If you all like that, if a majority of people want an earlier stream, then I can just continue streaming at 3. Because I'm pretty much adjusted, to Eastern Standard. Okay, I'll do that then. Yeah. So, 10 p.m. Moscow time. Yeah, exactly. What is it coincidence? I don't think so. Yeah. What else has been going on? There's probably stuff I got interrupted. I live in Ontario now. Yes. So yeah, I don't. No, that's not weird. Cyber, thank you. What's apartment hunting like? It was weird because I wasn't here, so I had to look and be like, hey, can I, But I think the one I have is good. So I'm not too mad. But that was, it's all online because I'm not in Ontario. Like I can't go and look at it myself. I have to see it through videos and FaceTime, that type of thing. But the one I found, I think, is fine. It's a little. The layout is strange. It's clearly like. Can I show this? Should I show this? Oh shit! I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. There's no Matt Crispin moment. I'm not gonna fall. Um. That's worse. It is. It is 100% a liminal space. Absolutely. It's converted into an apartment unit. Yes, it's very clear. Um, Fragile is thank you for the 13 months. Um, yeah, but we'll see. It seems fine. Where is this? Need to get Liv a chair. Yeah, it's coming. I'm getting chairs. Eventually. Tomorrow, actually. Yeah, and oh yeah, I feel like I've talked about the Joe Rogan stuff, haven't I? The How is he doing? Has there been an update on that? Like, is you stream on a MacBook Air as well? Nice, big respect. It's I'm worried about this poor thing's little CPU. It's hot. It's very. He's testing negative now. Oh, so he's fine. That's the private healthcare, folks. If you have the money, he died. Damn, rest in peace. Joe Rogan, rapid recovery. Oh no. Because what's gonna happen there? We know what's gonna happen there. Yeah, the ivermectin, the damn, these damn fucking libs denying science. The horse dewormer actually works. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, and then Richard Spencer ate shit. Ederlatch, I think. Thank you for the 100 bits. Greens made big gains in Scottish elections, projected to get many seats in the German upcoming elections. The Green Party, is there a Green Party that's popular in Canada? That's a long story. To make a long story short, no, it's not doing too good. Um, yeah, uh, not as bad as the American Green Party. But let me hold on. The Green Party leader wasn't even in the debates. Anami Paul, that's their name. Why did I blank on that? There was we watched actually the Green Party election, because the Green Party's politics are generally like sort of liberal, and then it's strange. The Green Party's in a really weird position because the NDP already have good climate policy, and they're like a left-wing party, and the Greens like sort of are better on climate than the Libs, but there's not much that they really provide. And this is the problem with a lot of Green parties in general, but especially in Canada, is like any good left-wing party has good climate policy, because left-wing voters are worried about the climate. They are very worried about it. It's easier to make bigger left-wing parties go green as a result of that than it is to make smaller Green parties, because Green parties are usually much smaller, more popular, and also left-wing. And so, and then there's been a couple gaffes with the Green Party leader, Anami Paul. I remember recently they could not list a single candidate. And it's more complicated. I haven't looked into too much of the specifics, other than that they're eating shit. They failed to list a single candidate they had for Quebec, the entire province. They also accidentally said that the Liberals have the correct climate policy in his speech. It was brutal. I would play it if I could, if my computer was capable of it. But it was literally like they were saying like, and therefore the climate policy that you should choose is the Liberals, and then just kept moving on. It was a very unfortunate flub. It's literally said to vote for the Liberals. And there's a certain respect in which I'm sure also some of the alienation she felt is because she's like a black woman. Which, and especially I can imagine the Green Party politics are pretty racist, but her politics are also not particularly good. And there was a socialist candidate, I cannot remember their name, that almost won. We watched the election for this. We watched and that would have been maybe some capacity for a good Green Party, but is it Lazarus? Yeah, that sounds familiar. So the Greens are a meme, basically. Do Canadians care about the Keystone? BC cares quite a bit. Very against it. Because, which makes sense, especially given, enjoying the environment, and it's even like a very immediate thing. A Green Party that's racist? Well, it's a popular Canadian party, and Canadian society is pretty racist, even if oftentimes it's subtle. So Trans Mountain Pipeline is BC's particularly not a fan. Alberta really wants oil and investment in oil, and Canada to invest in oil. I'm not sure where it polls elsewhere. But those are my two understandings. BC really against it, and in fact, it really hurt Trudeau's standings in BC and the Lib standings as a result of okaying Trans Mountain Pipeline. Real Sakai pilled, exactly. Where's the Void? I do not have the thing that produces it, sadly. The NVIDIA broadcast is not available on this little Mac, nor could it handle the processing power. It can barely handle streaming with this microphone and the camera. So Um, but didn't the Biden administration just start investing in more oil prospecting in Texas? Did I hallucinate that? They projected to produce like 1 billion barrels of oil in the next. Yes. Okay. What's the story? Is the Gulf of Mexico? Yeah, that's the one. Yep. Someone can link that. So that's great. Which is it is also funny to say Trudeau is more pro oil than Biden is, which again is even saying something, right? Yeah, it's tough. Let's see. Let me look at the headline. Oh no, I don't want to ban. How do I do this? If I ban someone by accident, I'm sorry. I think I'm fine. Biden admin to resume drilling auctions in setback to climate agenda. Unfortunate. Hate to see it, folks. No, you're good. I won't ban you. Don't worry. Don't worry. I figured it out. It's fine. No need to monk a W. Yeah, hide, run. Hold on. Let me swap out my thing. I'm putting like a cold and not wet towel on here to help manually cool it. We streamed earlier? Yes. I will probably. And actually, let me look at my schedule because I can. What's a better? Maybe I might do Saturday, Wednesday, Friday instead of Monday. Yeah, which is probably. I don't know. Is Saturday better? What are people's opinions on? Because I can change. Why can I not? Hold on. Saturday is better than Monday. Okay, that's good. We can do that. I'll have one. Yeah, cause I'll stream basically the same amount, I think, as I do before, even though I'm in school. What might happen less is podcasts, because I have to write those out, and I'll be doing a lot of work. You know, I'm a full-time student. But they'll still come. Actually, the Contra thing is out soon. I have a video / podcast about Nietzsche and ContraPoints. Century Made doesn't stream on Saturday, so it's Primo. Okay, awesome. So, oh yeah, of course, still gonna be doing QA, of course. It will be on YouTube. Do I have a YouTube link? Or I think the YouTube link is old. You can just search Liv Vod on YouTube, and it'll be the first one. QA streams are probably about as frequent as they normally are. Yeah, and my QA stuff output is not going to be affected either. Yeah. Does it cover the end about Dworkin? Wait, what was the end bit about? Nietzsche content, yes. We love Nietzsche. Am I going to stream Thursday? Not outside of, what's it called? Outside of QA, which is Tuesday and Thursday, usually, right? Or I guess it alternates. The move went well. Yes, I still have to move furniture, and so I hope it's able to fit through the door. But we will see. Yeah, every other Thursday, I think, is the intention. You cracked the Luzardo book? I got through a bit of it. My genuine, it seems good. Even just from the standpoint of like a philological perspective, or like, you know, an interpretive perspective, to use regular words. Luzardo's book, it's called Nietzsche the Aristocratic Rebel, I believe. It's an Italian book that recently got translated into English, which essentially argues it's an extension of Lukács's argument in that book on Reason that he talks about Nietzsche. And how Nietzsche's this reactionary that's like deeply embedded in anti-egalitarian, anti-democratic, reactionary politics, and that his writing, his political writing, is inherently ingrained in that as well. But it's an extension of that, and it's a much more in-depth sort of view and look into his writing and its connection with right-wing politics. And my essential position is that I think a lot of that is correct, but I still like Nietzsche, and I will still use him and consider myself a left Nietzschean. I love to do hermeneutics of innocence, but on purpose, because I think that it's still useful. That's what he calls, like, there are left-wing thinkers. Adorno, I think Adorno is brought up, although no, it isn't. It's mainly like Foucault, yeah, one in the chat, folks. Like Foucault, Derrida, Bataille, Kaufman as well, I guess to a lesser extent, who are left-wing and they like Nietzsche, and they sort of treat Nietzsche as like a political idiot, basically. Of like, no, he didn't really get politics. He didn't write about it. He doesn't have much to say about actual politics. And the response to that is like, that's not true. That's not true at all. He understood what he was doing. He was a very intelligent thinker, and he was explicitly ingrained in right-wing politics of the time, or reactionary politics is more specifically. Yeah, and that's sort of true, but I also think Nietzsche's an interesting thinker anyways. If you're teaching this year, I'm not teaching, and I would absolutely not assign my streams. It's 6 a.m. Canada. It's 3:48 p.m. in the afternoon. It's a nice day. The sun is out. You can see. I moved the wrong way. Yeah, the Lysardo's point, Nietzsche's critiques are powerful and need answering, even if we disagree with the starting point. I think that's another interesting point. Yeah, he's still a thinker you should engage with. Yeah. Someone linked a talk that had Benjamin Noyes and a couple others, because I'm familiar with Noyes and I like his work, that talked about Lysardo's book. And we should watch the stream at some point because I think it's interesting. But the end point, there's this really, I think, unproductive viewpoint where they have this analysis of Lysardo and they agree and say, yeah, they can, Nietzsche is a reactionary thinker. And as a result of that, we have to like de-Nietzscheify the political discourse. Like, think about how deeply influential Nietzsche is, and then think about like its effect in Foucault, its effect in Derrida, in post-structuralism more generally, in and we have to remove the Nietzsche from it, which I think is such a bizarre. It's like it's coronavirus or something, and I think that's not a particularly eventful way of looking at that. I think I can't change the zoom. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not moving and it's changing. Why is that? I don't think that's a productive way of viewing it. Did you see where was that? Bernier getting egged? No. That's really funny though. Did he get egged? Like someone got his ass? It's probably focusing on the mic. I think so. I wish I could pull that up. But I cannot. I don't have the capacity with these streams. All true anarchists were aristocrats, was what Goldman said. Meaning of aristocrat is apparently different. Yeah. I mean, that sort of, that even tracks to a certain extent. Let's see. I can't. Let's watch it, chat. Look at this. Look at this incredible shit. Can you see it? Oh, that's very funny. That's good stuff. Sigma male held the frame. That's very funny. That's good stuff. You can look on the someone linked it. I'm assuming that's a raw egg. Yes. Yeah, this is my cab. That's the real front. I'm not. I didn't move to Ontario. This is my cabin in Montana. That's so true. Yes, Sean. To both questions, thank you. Is he a Q person? Oh no. Oh, that makes it even. That's bizarre though. I would have generally expected them to be fond of Bernier. Um, but I guess it's a weird sort of weird like apolitical schizo, like sort of decentered from actual politics. That's interesting. Um, I mean, it's still funny, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's definitely still funny. I guess it's yeah, because I really would have like I had an old fake QAnon account on Twitter where I would just like monitor Canadian Q people, and my impression was that they were around Sloane's politics, and they liked Brexit. I guess it's because they don't like the Quebecois, because it's Anglo QAnon, because QAnon in Canada is mostly Anglo. The equivalents in Quebec are more connected to like France and Belgium and their anti-lockdown stuff, because anti-lockdown is like an essential element of Q at this point. Unsurprisingly, it has QUE anon exactly. Bernier isn't Christo-fascist enough. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So I guess that sort of makes sense. I still would have expected them to like him. Hold on. It's getting, one sec. So is that loud when I like put the microphone down? I'm alternating. I have a little like towel that's sorry about that. Okay. I'll put it down better next time. There's a I'm alternating. I'm trying to cool off my. That's getting better. It's slightly better. Okay. Why can't you see my skylights? Oh yeah. Do I have to? They're right here, which is it gets very bright in the morning, which maybe is actually good. I have 4 skylights in here. Um. Oh, are big streamers moving to YouTube as well? That's not a surprise at all. That makes sense. Yeah. I would be. I would yeah. My prediction with Twitch is that in the long term, it's sort of on the way out. There's very few reasons in the long term why you would prefer Twitch to YouTube or Facebook gaming. The main reason is just the people who are on it. I'm not switching. No, I'm not gonna bother with that. And like for instance, Facebook gaming is just now like the streamers get all of the money from subscriptions. They're like, you can have all of it. There's no. It's to boost the website and the website traffic in general. Whereas Twitch is like it's like So Twitch has a sort of corner on the market because they got in early, and so they have a lot of streamers. But is Facebook gaming is incredibly shit technologically? Oh, okay, interesting. But in the long term, I don't see Twitch surviving. Maybe that's wrong. Because YouTube's getting bigger, right? In terms of its streaming, because it's YouTube. There's a shit ton of people who go on YouTube and go on Facebook, whereas Twitch is like it's relatively speaking not actually that big of a website. So yeah, I see YouTube beating Twitch eventually. Amazon doesn't really care either. They seem to have bought it for like the back end, I guess. or something. Yeah. So YouTube player is way better. Yeah, that makes sense. Where's the green screen? I might actually get a green screen for this one. I never used one. I just used the software that cuts you out. But I should invest in one. How's the audio here? I guess the broader problem is probably that I'm holding the mic so you can hear when I move or something. Oh, it sounds good. Okay, but it's very echoey at the moment because it's a big room and there's not much in it. Yeah, it's desynced. I tried to update it, but it's just it cannot handle. Video's a bit delayed. Yeah, that's just it's delayed. It's very delayed on my screen. It's just because it can't deal with the processing of it. You can't hear much of an echo. I guess it probably only shows up if you hear it. If you listen more closely or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's desynced. There's not much I can do about that. It's just yours caught up. Yeah, it's. Anyways, I tried to adjust it, but I'm assuming it's literally just a problem of processing. Yeah. Adds to the aesthetic, exactly. What is the black box on the wall? That's like is left there by my landlord. It's like a you can post like pins to it and stuff, you know? It's cuz light travels faster than sound. That's I'm breaking the sound barrier. It's a pin board or whatever that is. That's the thing I feel like landlords leave you, you know? Where it's like don't fucking pin shit on the rest of this. JFast, thank you for the 5 months. External GPU might help with encoding. It won't give me the rest of the message. That's really annoying. Sorry. Yeah. No, I'm using an iMac or MacBook. So this is a very temporary solution. I get my computer on Thursday. Because I figured I should stream anyways because I'm literally not doing anything. I've done all my readings for the first week, which I have to miss a bunch of my classes to deal with move-in stuff, which is unfortunate for the first week. But what sort of drip do I have? This is a turtleneck. Does that answer your question? Bon Winter, thank you for the 21 months. We love to see it. Yeah. Foucault Liv. Saw you on YouTube. Where was I on YouTube? Did a YouTube video mention me? A real Foucault hours. I'm Foucault Pills. Turtlenecks are the best. We love them, don't we, folks? Yeah, 1 sec. I'll put it down lightly this time, the microphone. Try not to press any buttons on the keyboard. Oh, just on the okay, because the podcasts are uploaded. I see. Yeah. Constantly debating with profs. Exactly. The Foucauldian method. Yeah. I'm thinking about doing another. The next QAnon episode or QA episode. I'm gonna watch a bunch of history docs on like Atlantis and all the bullshit archaeology. And probably, I think, assign the 3 boys some to watch as well. And so I'll get a bunch of clips and just talk about generally what I see. And we can talk about it. Because it's hilarious. Like, this is genius for me because it's like, it's work, but also I do enjoy watching those history docs. They're not history. Calling them history docs is like, helping ruin American democracy and trust in academic institutions. But the History Channel documentaries on like Atlantis and stuff, because they are very well made. I got to admit, they know how to make a damn you know. Got me reading Plato again. Oh, nice. I picked up Poetics by Aristotle. I've been flipping through that because I haven't formally read it, so that's good. But yeah, so I'll be able to for work watch those, document them. Should be fun. Yeah, that is. It is. My computer feels very hot, but oh, that's a bit better. I think it's helping. I think this is helping. I don't know. Comments. Thank you for the 18 months. I'll have to like. There's a certain respect in which a lot of those documentaries get weirdly into like. I'll have to see if any of them mention the phrase Aryan, because that's the primo yikes moment, right? That's where it's like we really do intersect with what Heinrich Himmler genuinely believed, and you're showing it to just like a bunch of people, and as like, oh, isn't this true? Which is bad. That's not good. It should be okay. Yeah. Okay, it should be. All right, I shouldn't worry too much because I remember having to worry about this type of thing on my other thing. Yeah, the CPU says 14%. I think that's fine, right? So I can stream for a little while. Did Quentin make a video about that? Do you think seems better? Okay, that's good. MacBook gets like hot from Chrome. Yeah, that's true. Pizza for all. Thank you for the 4 months. I should cook eggs on it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pain because I'm moving in and I don't have. This is my stand-up special now. What's the deal with moving in? I don't have a car, and I know very few people in this city at the moment. You don't haha me. Actually, joke's on you. My phone doesn't have FFZ or whatever, so I can't see it. It doesn't. Oh, I guess I do have an haha mode as well. That's yeah, but it's been a pain because I have like nothing, so I have to buy everything. Adulting, am I right, folks? Do you see like TikToks about Atlantis Lemuria? Yeah, that's a problem. That's a yikes for me. I'm back on TikTok now just because I'm curious what's going on. It's not worth it. It's not a good place to. I gotta start liking weird shit, cause my timeline at the moment is boring. Air can flow under. Yes, I do have it propped up on my Das Kapital book actually, to make sure that it is not too bad. Yeah, it should be fine. I don't. Does Jordan Peterson make TikToks? Oh, I gotta get in on that. I gotta take a look. Yeah, that's the most absurd, mind-numbing TikTok is Roger Stone, because his stuff is just so bizarre, even more bizarre than you would expect of Roger Stone. Yeah, it's we watch. He sings. Oh, I wish I could pull that up. Damn, that's hilarious. Your FYP is just trans creators. I gotta say, trans TikTokers are wild. What's the deal with trans? They really say some wild shit, and I respect it because it's like You don't have to be policed by Twitter discourse, so you can. It's I don't think it's actually as bad, TikTok discourse compared to Twitter. And the worst of it mainly comes from cis people. Oh, just making like wildly edgy jokes, but like at their own expense, which I think is funny. If it's only a 14 CPU, you can play video. I don't think so, because it'll get really desynced. That's the problem, because you can see the audio being desynced is a sign that it's like having trouble. Weaving it all together. And so I know I tried to record before, just as like a test, and like open other stuff, and it just would not let me. So I'm not risking it. It's not. I shouldn't have gotten a MacBook Air. I should have gotten a bigger MacBook, even though like this is for school. I got it a while ago, because it really cannot deal with any processing whatsoever. You've been watching SCP Foundation stuff, Linda? Those are cool. SCP stuff is really great, because it's this sort of community of creatives making what are essentially scary stories, but they're interesting. I think a lot of them depend a lot on censored or redacted, of like, and the crazy thing happened, and the crazy thing was redacted. And it's like, oh, that's a little, boring. But I think it's fun to read. And there are good YouTube channels that read things out, read the SCP stuff out. It's very Lovecraftian. I would say Lovecraft does it better though. Like he doesn't. There's a certain sense in which Lovecraft, like, revising my previous statement, you do not have to hand it to Lovecraft. But when the cosmic core comes in with Lovecraft, and it's like it's beyond your comprehension, it adds to the story in a very meaningful way, as opposed to a lot of SCP writers who are like, I can't think of anything to describe here. There is something, just fill it in your head, The later SCP, yeah, I that makes sense. That there's like the community as a whole sort of got sick of that, right? Actually, what is the process of the SCP canon? Not the canon, because all the SCPs contradict each other. There's like different timelines, but like, does anyone know this? What is the process of like this story is SCP-3000? Is there a centralized sort of process of enshrining stories into? It's like it's a vote, isn't it? Or it's a competition usually. You claim a spot, write it, and it gets approved by site mods. Oh, cool. Yeah, so just wiki style, right? Yeah, and there's no canon. Yeah, absolutely. They're all like contradictory, which is cool. I like it. It's very rhizomatic, as the kids say. Very sort of. It's a decentralized assemblage. Your understandings of it alter based on which SCPs you sort of connect to each other, and the universe fluctuates and changes based on which ones you elevate and which ones you don't, which ones you attach to the plane of imminence. Yeah, it's literally Shrigma. That's so true. What else has gone on since I've been not streaming? When was my last stream? I guess, was that Wednesday? Okay. So did I only miss one stream? Oh, that's funny. Oh no, it was Monday. I missed a week. I missed 2 streams. Oh no. Oh, it was Monday, right? Or Sunday? I thought it was Monday. The 6000 series are great. It's not even horror. Okay, I should read them. Oh, maybe it was Sunday. Yeah, because I shipped my computer on Tuesday. That's why. Oh, it was Sunday? Oh, okay. Why did I not stream on Monday? Well, anyways. I guess I wanted more days off. Yeah, we can talk about Texas as well. Ne travaillez jamais. That's why I didn't. Exactly. It's because never work. It's so true. I did Sunday and Monday. That's what I thought. My stream was 7 days ago. I was right. Yeah, the Texas shit is fucking scary. As far as I understand, it could have at some point, like abortion being legal could have been enshrined into law as opposed to merely precedent. But the Democrats never decided to do that. Yeah, it also does show like the difference. There are sort of two Americas. If you look at like the vision of America for the future, there's this fear of it being this like fascist, centralized, terrifying, powerful state. But I think the more accurate and still necessarily pessimistic prediction is like there are it becomes far more decentralized, and there are certain areas that you could probably describe as that are more based around state level politics. It is more based around state level politics, and then there are more like lib areas that are still fundamentally, entrenched in capital, but they do it in the socially progressive, fiscally conservative way. Decentralized fascist state with tolerance zones. Yeah, I guess. Basically. So it depends on your local government, because local governance is still very important. The lighting changes rapidly, I realize, because of the sun. This sunroof? What is the word? Why am I blanking on that word? It'd be a massive fundraising opportunity for Democrats. Skylight, thank you. Yeah, that's true. That's probably, I saw that as an explanation of one of the reasons why they didn't target it to officially enshrine abortion as being legal. Because yeah, Roe v. Wade wasn't a good enough precedent to do it permanently. There had to be something else, but there never was. Yeah. I don't know if I have any particular like unique analysis on it. It's obviously very awful. And even like, what was it? Even Lyft, like the one of the poster boys for like the hell of the future of, actually this helps my point. The platform capitalism in which you have no actual capacity to have like a union or worker representation. You're purely pushed around by larger corporations that own everything that you have, and you rent from them. You like a serf almost. Even like they were like, was it Lyft that was like, we will fund women having abortions, like moving out of state. Yeah, and if a woman goes to get an abortion, in Texas and uses Lyft or whatever, we won't, give their information. Which, my main reading of that is just, Republicans in the USA are gone. Well, the problem is like that would be true if there wasn't voting, massive. The word I'm thinking of is voter fraud. It technically is fraud if you think about it. A lack of access to votes, a disenfranchisement. Yeah, there's another word I'm thinking of. Yeah, like gerrymandering, because Texas is like a blue state. If there is no fucking gerrymandering, etc., voter suppression. That's the word. That's the phrase. Texas is a blue state, just as is. The electorate is a blue state. If there isn't gerrymandering, etc. So the Republican goal is essentially like, we will push forward things that are not popular, but in doing so, we will also destroy American democracy to such an extent that we will still remain in power. Which is, there's a certain sense in which like, that is, I'm going to replace this, hold on. That is like, not a good, they're screwing themselves over. I can just, fuck. I can talk while I'm doing this actually, because there's a certain sense in which they're screwing themselves over by doing that, because obviously if you have incredibly unpopular opinions, people won't vote for you as much. Um, but the way they square the circle again is just voter suppression, and it seems to be working. So it seems, yeah. Um, I don't think the Republicans have any sort. They have a crisis insofar as like, well, who replaces Trump, right? Actually, maybe the lighting might be better if I move a bit to the right. Let me not fuck this up. I think that's, I don't know. Maybe that isn't any different. I'm sitting this on. I sent a photo in the Discord of this setup, so follow the Discord if you want to find that. That was in streaming updates, I think. Yeah, or live updates. So exclamation point Discord. Crispin point is, as long as people are getting treats, there isn't going to be a rebellion. Absolutely. I'm sitting on a suitcase at the moment. Yes. But the thing is, like, yeah, America is a treat nation. And this is like the general consumer capitalist model, right? You upend people's like pre-capitalist social relations, even in like feudalism, which was massively exploitative. There is some sense of community, some very strong, meaningful sense of community. In fact, such a strong sense that it like, this is why Marx said that the peasantry didn't have any like revolutionary potential. That sense of community like binds them together, binds the peasantry together, and they're like, there is this sense of meaning that is gotten from your connection with the church, with your local church. But the capitalism upends that. It forces the peasantry into the cities generally, and proletarianizes them into these individuals, which was just historically, objectively, a very wildly upsetting process that was contingent on force. It wasn't people voluntarily moving into the cities. It was, we have nowhere to go. We're getting kicked off our land. We have to go into the cities and look for work. But the concessions, many of the concessions that people got from that were like, and you can even see this with just like higher wages. This is, Marx talks about this sort of battle between the price of real wages, and what subsistence is defined as for the worker. The victories you get are treats. You have to sell your labor for capital and to make subsistence, but you can go to the movie theater. You can, what's another commodity? I don't know. You can get your hair cut. You can go get a Big Mac, and any commodity in general. But the problem is, oh, my chat froze. Oops. You can watch your favorite streamer, although that's free technically. Yes, jalapeno poppers at Applebee's, exactly. But the problem is that I don't know how this, like, my main understanding of this is through commodity stocks. I'm not buying any commodity stocks, but they're not doing very well at the moment because the global supply line is like being really fucked by COVID. And so, like, there's this sort of deal in capitalism that keeps people complacent, and it's that you get treats, even if, you have no control over your life. And they're losing that. People are losing that. If it stops happening, that's a very big problem. And that's one of the reasons why, really, the Black Lives Matter protests were so big. There's also just, like, even a universal, but it's especially targeted towards anti-black racism, like, experience of police abusing people that absolutely also unified it. But a part of it was people were desperate and the commodities stopped flowing. The supply lines sort of short-circuited. And I think that's continuing. My understanding of it is that it's worse in America than it is in Canada. The grocery stores that I've been to have been relatively full, for instance. Whereas I think it's a bigger problem in America. If anyone can just give anecdotal evidence. Lots of empty shelves, right? And that's like, as long as the treats stop flowing. If the treats stop flowing, then that's the problem, right? That's people are not happy as a result. And then Brexit in the UK as well, right? Yeah, right. So I mean, it's heterogeneous, the supply chain, but it is buckling most certainly, and COVID ain't going away. I think that seems pretty clear. So like, you know, it might get worse. And yeah, I mean, this idea, this general thesis, is also revealed in a lot of the upper middle class protests for the lockdowns, because their protests were obviously fundamentally much more trivial than like the working class ones, than something like Black Lives Matter. Those protests were like, I can't go get my hair cut. I want to go get a McFlurry and go to the movie theater, but I can't. And that is tyranny. That is literally 1984, freaking communism, etc. And what that reveals something very interesting about the like upper middle class suburban American psyche. That like freedom is the main definition of freedom is, I have my money and I can go spend it somewhere. If I can't go spend it somewhere, then that is unfreedom. We won't question the problem of like what is the conditions when which one gets their money, how much money do they get, where does the money go, even questions related to production. It's injustice, unfreedom is, I have money and I want to spend it and I can't. And I think that reveals a lot. And there's also just an extent, like especially with the mask thing, which I think Linda brought up. I think I saw. There's an extent to which it literally is just like, you can't tell me what to do in any way whatsoever, which is also a product of this sort of cup teats. Am I saying that correctly? Thank you for the 5 months. There is a respect in which that is like just pure individualized account of freedom of like, I don't care about any of the consequences. It's sort of libertarianism in a sense. I don't care about any of the consequences. I want to, for a thing to be a lack of freedom, it just revolves me not being able to do something. Like, an emphasis on me, emphasis on the individual who is speaking. That's why libertarians are only obsessed with taxes. Because if you are an upper, middle class, or, in general, upper class, cishet, no privilege whatsoever, the main thing that affects you is taxes. And so clearly the problem is there's too many taxes. There's too much taxes. Hold on, this is probably paranoia, but I don't want my computer to crash during the stream or something of that effect. So I will continue putting this cloth that I put in the freezer that is cold on here. Isn't China? Oh, there was a list. I saw a tweet that was like, there are 15 things that China is cracking down on, because there's a big like, it's I guess an attempt at sort of centralization, and China banned femboys, right? Wasn't that a thing? They banned feminine looking men, which it's interesting to see. Like, I won't name names, but it's pretty easy to see. Actually, maybe this is actually broad enough, because there's for some reason enough of these people, like a trans woman who is like, look, the fact that they did that isn't that bad. It's like, you are, that's just like openly defending that type of shit. It's very interesting. Yeah, then there's obviously the joke that China banned fascism, which is funny because, the femboy fascism. It's a great joke. It does remind me of, like, queer Stalinists who, like, genuinely like Stalin and are like, yeah, he did things mostly right. And it's like, he would have put you in a camp. Like, literally. I don't know, what are you doing? What's going on? But it's like a modern iteration of that. People love to be ruled, folks. hello, really chill guy, known trans woman. How's it going? Where are queer Stalinists? Oh, they're all over the place. What are you up to? This is my stand-up routine. I hope you all like it. It's going great. I'm gonna pick up stand-up. What's the deal with China banning femboy? But there was a couple there were a couple reforms. I want to find it. I've turned off the chat because I'm on my phone. I want to go find it on my Twitter because the other reforms they did, I do have to say, you know, gotta hand it to President Xi on this one. Maybe Caleb Mopin had a point. I'm scrolling. I cannot see what any of you say at the moment. Where is it? Well, I tweet too much. Hold on. It did I scroll past it? Fucking. Can someone link it? There was a set of reforms that related to, like, you know, curtailing corporations curtailing corporations that use algorithms too much, cracking down on like platform-based companies like Uber and Lyft equivalents. And I gotta say, like, you know, yeah, it was. The other funny thing, was I not on stream? I can't. My understanding of time is always warped. Have I streamed since China banned gaming? Because there was that really funny account that is called Antifa Waluigi or something. No, Comrade Waluigi. Who is like you can make a case study on that account. There's a lot going on there. Who's a Dengist, who's like denies China. He's like, what China's doing in Xinjiang is good, all that shit. Like that's their position. And who finally started to be like, wait, what's going on here? When China banned gaming. That's when China said that people can only game for 3 hours a week or whatever. He was like, what? Incredible. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make it up. That person I remember also said, like, where would I be? Where would any of us be if it weren't for Bernie? Like, sort of like in the Bernie radicalized by Bernie generation. We must take arms against Xi to allow gaming. They came after gamers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where are Gamergate people now? What are they like, the Gamergate guys try to do like a naval invasion on China to liberate all the gamers. But yeah, that was did not speak out to the game, which is beyond parody, right? But they're putting gamers in camps. It's a problem. Yeah, which, you know, there's that Antifa Waluigi or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. Actually, I'm confusing. Antifa Waluigi is a different guy. That was Antifa Waluigi was the person who showed up to that DSA thing, and it was like, oh, this is so cringe. Who's gonna like the DSA now? That was a while ago, though. Too many Waluigis. The Comrade Waluigi person is, I think, a good representation of a certain strain of online leftism that's like really online, and also just wants President Xi to be their dad. Like, there's no. It's an attempt in understanding that things are wrong fundamentally with society, and that, like, even if you have a trivial understanding of it, the Marxist analysis is correct, but that there's no ability to get out of this desire to be led by the hand. Of like, okay, well, you know, and also a desire to win and be on the winning side, which I sort of understand. Which is why like dangism is a thing in America. It's not a real movement. Like there is some take that's like, this is a threat. This is an existential threat to the left. They're going to take over and they're going to do the terrible. It's like, no, they're not. It's not a real political movement, and it never could be. Something like Comrade Waluigi and the love of President Xi exists as a specific result of the fact that there is no left. The fact that there is nothing in America, no real coherent movement that is like fully Marxist, that is working towards the abolition of class, etc. That you would look for, even if it's just something that is an aesthetic outside of your borders, that is a great power, because you want something, you want to be a part of something that is doing something, that is winning, because China is a very big country that is very powerful. So it's not, yeah. It's an indication of a lack of a left than it is of like, the left is going in such a terrifying direction. Quite a bit of that genuinely can be solved by like having a real left in America. All of those types of accounts. That's my opinion. Although there still is a fundamental underlying, like, you want to be led by the hand. You want a strong man to come in and make you feel better. And that's not good. That should be avoided if at all possible. Yes, Luna, China cyber capitalist and imperialist. Absolutely. Ironically, the Leninist definition, they are absolutely imperialist. But the reason why they attach to it is because there's an aesthetic. If China is socialist, then there is a based strongman, and you can attach your politics to them, and they might win. It seems like they're, on the up and up. So, room inspo. Let me see. What are you sending? Let me click this. Let's see. I'll do the. Is this? Oh, that's actually a very nice room. Oh, thank you. I thought this was gonna be like a. I assumed you were gonna make fun of me, but that is a very nice. Yeah. Is there a win? Yeah, the end of capitalism, or a movement that puts us towards it. Yeah. People like to attach themselves to whoever opposes the great Satan. Yes, absolutely. Which is understandable. Especially there's a large dimension of it that is also guilt. This is something I was thinking of with anti-Japanesism, which is the English translation. Not that I know the Japanese word, but it's a strand of, which I believe has been described as a cult in some instances, a strand of the Japanese New Left in the 70s that like was so Bernie's the left liberal. That is correct, Linda. I agree. That was so guilt-ridden as a result of Japanese imperialism and its legacy, and the lack of a reconciliation of it within Japan, that they decided that like the Japanese culture should be destroyed, and that there's and the point being that it's the part of the politics that is guilt based takes over to such an extent that you're unable to make an actual analysis of politics, and I think that happens a lot with Biden as a conservative Democrat. Also true, Linda. I agree. Yeah, that's. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Gotta hand to Linda. Correct about that. I feel like the presence of billionaires. It is so funny. It's like the Caleb Maupin video where he's like, communist billionaires, not a problem. And there's a certain respect in which I do like respect that someone like Caleb is just like, yeah, what is the problem? Marx never said that billionaires were bad. The dictatorship of the proletariat can have billionaires, can produce billionaires. There's something that I respect, just how brazenly stupid that is. Yeah, that it's like, fuck it, sure, why not? Big respect, incredible. Maupin loves LaRouche. Oh yeah, Maupin went to the fucking like Dugan Nazbol conference or Eurasianist conference. Maupin is straight up like, yeah. That's a good example of like a leftist politic, because he was like, I think he probably overemphasizes this. He was talking about Japaneseism as Japaneseism results of guilt. Oh yeah, that's some of the reason why people attach to China in like America is because they oppose America. And anyone who opposes America must be based. Hold on, let me get some. My fridge is right here, and I'm hungry. What should I eat? This is sort of convenience. This is great content, I'm sure. Called Campism, right? They don't make cranks like LaRouche anymore. They really don't. You remember seeing someone on Gen Zedong saying Al Qaeda and Assad were based because they're anti-American? Well, yeah, that's the classic. Where it's like, yeah, I want to side with the axis of evil because they oppose America, even though like if they were powerful, like a multipolar system would just, I mean, probably slightly better for certain groups in certain areas of the population, certain regions of the world, but far away from possibly solving the problems that the left is attempting to fix, and far more entrenching the system that creates domination. I do not like Assad. No, that is incorrect. That is wrong. No, wrong. But yeah, I saw there was a Gen Zedong post about how cool the Taliban is. Which is to be fair to Gen Zedong, they did downvote it. Like I see this sometimes where someone will make a ridiculous post in a certain subreddit they don't like, and they're like, look at the presence of this post. Doesn't that show how bad their politics are? And you look at the post and it's like downvoted, and it's like, okay, well that's. But no, there was a Portuguese, or I think it was Brazilian Trotsky group that was unironically like critical support to the Taliban. I think it was Italian Trots that like were pro-ISIS. And that's just a perfect example of like, you get to the point in which all your politics are is opposing America, that you don't realize what is the reason you oppose America. And do you produce, like in your politics, do you produce the same relations of power that are the reason why America is bad? I got some Genoa salami. Genoese? Was it Spartacus League? Oh, yeah. We don't talk to the Taliban? America's going to be talking to them pretty soon. This is like an old school live stream. They'll talk to them pretty soon because there's a lot of resources in Afghanistan. Nope, no way. We'll see. We will see, Linda. We will see who's correct. A lot of resources in Afghanistan. And now that the Taliban have won, the best economically, because this is again where you look at American policy is a result of material interests, economic interests. It isn't some higher ideal of justice or freedom. It is to improve particularly American corporations. And now that it's clear the Taliban have won, there's a lot of important resources, valuable resources in Afghanistan, and geopolitically, America is going to decide, well, China is attempting to, they've already agreed to help the Taliban to get resource contracts. The best thing for America to do, they're going to decide, then they will. I'm making this prediction, and Linda, you will see that in a couple months it is true, and be like, oh, damn, this is my prediction. Which I guess, or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be right. They will realize, oh, well, we'll just do those resource contracts as well. We want influence in the region. The Taliban isn't going away, and that will be a good indication to you. Okay, May, I don't. Camilla Frost, thank you for the 10 months. I don't know how to do the P filter. I do not have my ring light where I can change it. I'm predicting the future. I say it's a couple months, maybe a bit more than that. But yeah, they'll decide a pretty coherent foreign policy decision. It's the reason why, like, there was that piece in like the Washington Post or something that was like Afghanistan is sitting on a lot of valuable resources. What should we do about that? And the response was, "Oh, look, they're trying to justify another invasion," which was the incorrect reading. The obvious reading to me seems like the opposite, that they're justifying, "Oh, okay, well, look, there's lithium there. We want to make more, we want to make more freaking electronic cars." Linda, you can't just spam the word no. I understand that you disagree with me. You don't have to take up the chat. And they'll be like, "Okay, well, we'll facilitate stability in Afghanistan with the Taliban in power, and do resource extraction." And that's what's going to happen. This is a prediction I make based on an understanding that American foreign policy is based upon material interests, based on pushing those material interests. And you can follow and understand American foreign policy for as long as there's been an American foreign policy based on that through line. Regardless of which president is in office, this is the case. There are still American corporations. Do you think the Taliban will work with China? They already are. Isn't China's already like established relations and are attempting to do this? Like, that's like confirmed. Yeah, they're already doing that. Um, oh, did Michael K. Williams die? Oh shit, damn. R.I.P. That sucks. Yeah, capital's gotta expand, so they're gonna do it. MCM Prime, baby. India's trying to butt up with the Taliban. Yeah, that's the in the material analysis. This is common sense, right? Of course, that's not a surprise at all. Afghanistan is sitting on a lot of important resources. It turns out that it's hard to extract resources when there's a lack of stability. The best way of making money is to prop up the current government, give them stability, and get resource extraction contracts. It's very simple analysis. I guess we'll see. It's a falsifiable prediction. Does America say fuck it? Yes, we want all that lithium. We want to compete with them, with other powers in the region, or do they not? Rare earth elements. And those rare earth elements are in productive forces, baby. Let's get them going. That's like, because it's funny. Like, that's the material analysis, and that's how you understand China's foreign policy, America's foreign policy, and every other foreign policy really. But I remember like the reconciliation that Dengus had with the fact that China is like the third largest arms exporter to Israel. As like, look, we got to raise productive forces. If Israel wants weapons, the communist countries will just got to sell them. Invasion of Afghanistan was also because of geopolitics. Yes. Well, yeah, because an invasion and constant warfare and occupation make it harder to extract resources, especially in regions that are less, But the through line now is, new setup. Yes, it's temporary. Because my new computer, or not my new computer, my regular computer, is in the mail. So this is what you have for now. Are there UFO sightings? I haven't heard about this. Why did mineral extraction not take off? Well, there was no central government. The nation building projects failed. Like, yeah, if there's no centralized, administration, then you can't do that. New place, yes. Republicans are gonna love it when that happens. Yeah, that is a thing because they're gonna say that Biden loves the Taliban or whatever. Which Biden already took the L on that, I guess. Back in school, yeah, but streaming should stay about as much as I do normally. Will not help Pakistan, Linda. I don't. You should look up on the history of America and the region. Is the thing that I will say. I don't know if that's. Pakistan is like essentially an American ally. Will you write a thesis on streaming? Yes, on Twitch streaming. Yeah, probably on propaganda in the 21st century. That's what I'm thinking about. I think that I'm reading about like what Adorno and to a lesser extent like Illil and Todd, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Thank you so much. We love to see it, folks. Thank you. Looking at writings on propaganda in the 20th century. We love to see it. Thank you, Todd. Todd WJP. And it seems like most traditional models of propaganda have a very difficult time explaining what's going on with QAnon, basically. I already wrote a thesis on Twitch streaming. It's called BreadTube Serves Imperialism. That's so true. Yeah, manufacturing consent is largely outdated. Yeah, that's obviously another example, Chomsky Manufacturing Consent, which I need to reread that book for the sake of my thesis, probably. This is my general idea. What am I studying? Philosophy. Yeah, but basically that the new form of propaganda is like a micro-fascistic. It's fascism that creates itself. It oftentimes doesn't use a central authority source to get its propaganda. It creates itself. Yeah. And which is how you can explain why Trump was like, "Oh, you gotta get the vaccine, folks," and then they started booing him. Let's say Adorno's view of propaganda, that doesn't make any sense. What central political figure, what apparatus is telling people not to get the vaccine? Like, this is a point in which it's as if imagine if Hitler inspires a movement of fascists and the fascists stop listening to Hitler. Like that's such a bizarre idea, right? In the traditional model of fascism, and there's something very bizarre about the internet has really ruined people's brains in a way that I think traditional models of fascism need to be readjusted, at least, or in propaganda, traditional models of propaganda. They're just riffing, yeah. Is it at its root middle class anxiety? Yeah, that's like the Marxist analysis. There was some opposition. That's true. When did you find out you were a political streamer? Am I? Right now is when I found out. Did the volume go down? I don't think so. Did something... Hold on, let me... I did not touch it. So... Volume is fine? Okay. I think it's better to include. I feel like even Guattari's solo work is good for this. Your aunt sent you some insane anti-vax shit. Husband works for the IMF. Liberia seek immigrants to the U.S. They're anti-vax. It affects so many people. It does. It's very strange. Is your stain on the window? Is your stain on the window cherry? Oh, my thing. Yes. There's a lot of like that color in this apartment, which is I think nice. Fascist mass space still exists in low class. Yeah, there's like the Sartre's view of anti-Semitism, where he's like anti-Semitism is a middle class thing. It'll be hard for you to meet a French working classman who's anti-Semitic, and I think that's bullshit. I don't think that's true. Am I still at 419 subs? Of course. There's yeah. Sartre has this weird paternalism sometimes about the working class, because he's an existentialist, so he's like an idealist by definition. You know, consciousness begins through sort of reason, through the rational cogito transcendental subject, which Sartre sort of works over to, but not really. I don't think. And so consciousness isn't material. There's an essay he wrote about materialism. I can't remember what it was called. Maybe it was literally just on materialism, something like that, in which he's like, materialism is a fiction. It's not true. The existentialism is true, you know. But if it helps the working class organize, then they should believe it. So it's like, it's a comfortable lie for the working class, which is a bad faith interpretation of that piece. But I still think that that's like basically what Marx is saying in that, or not Marx. I saw the word Marx and I said Marx. Sartre. And I think that's weird. I don't know why I got on that. Oh yeah, that Sartre has this weird paternalism with the working class. Oh yeah, tell me, man. I've seen like the statistics about like nationalism in Pakistan. It's a very nationalistic country. My understanding of its recent politics are not very in depth, admittedly. Searle's idea with the general strike, right? Mark May, Wikipedia does not say that. It does not say, also known as Liv Vod is a political and philosophy podcast, Twitch streamer, BreadTuber. It does not say that. There's no Wikipedia. That's a lie. I could write forward it. I actually can't write anything on that. It's a pin board. It doesn't say that. Then link it. Link it then. Give me a link. Actually, let me hold on one sec. Let's get the sub count. This is a genius idea. Hold on one sec. All right, we got it. Let's put it up. You can't even see it. God damn it. Well, it's there. It's there. So it's real, is what I'm saying. Minty, thank you for the prime. See, it's real. It worked. You can't see it, but you know it's true. It's 1984. I'm telling you it, and that makes it real. Big sister. Literally says it on your Wikipedia page. You're gonna link me. Oh yeah, bit.ly. I wonder what that leads to. I don't have a Sharpie, so I can't make it. But it does say that. I showed you it before. You saw it. Leftist IG account say Orwell was a rapist. I've never heard that. But, I mean, he wasn't a particularly admirable individual for a multitude of reasons. Yeah, I can only assume what that link leads to, May. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is. Yeah, I assumed, May. I assumed that that's what it was leading to. That was my prediction, and I was correct. Did you feel the apple taste? What? What do you mean? Yes, this is Hassan's closet that I moved into. I'm now literally back in the closet. You hate to see it, folks. His house is, of course, 70,000 square feet. So it was, and he's charging me $900,000 a month for rent. But you know what? You're around the creative energy of a bigger streamer. It helps. Yeah, I'm hiding in Hassan's closet. He doesn't know I'm here. He's not charging me any rent. The house is so big that he can't even tell. My internet's actually pretty good. It's I can't at the moment. I might have to, maybe I'll rent free, baby, rent free. I might I mean, so far it's going fine. It's like I looked at it on speed test, and it's like 50 download and then like 70 upload without Ethernet, and I don't as at the moment have access to Ethernet, but I think that might be fine. I think 70 up Wi-Fi might be okay. We'll give it a shot. Yeah, 70 is good. I showed that to Chelsea, and she was like, "That's nothing." It's like, I don't. Is that the New York fiber optic privilege? Is New York really good or something? Yeah. Also, yes, I would assume that she would have like insane. Yeah, Canadian internet sucks. Canadian internet isn't usually like that. I had like 20 upload, and like 50 down, or no, I had like a shit ton down. It was like 300 down, and then like 20 upload on the last place I was at, which is Shaw, because I'm assuming Shaw throttles upload. Is it in Toronto, but it's really expensive? Oh, okay. Is Eastern European internet good? Yeah, I know that the waves look amazing. Thank you. Canadian I almost fell back on my chair, which is not a chair, it's a suitcase. I will not have a crispin moment. Canadian internet is just really expensive. In metropolitan areas is good? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. It's the same with cell phone plans. The excuse is that cell phone plans go across the country, and it's very difficult to cross the fucking the Rockies. So they're like, oh well, because of maintenance we have to charge a lot, but it's just like a, you know, monopoly, or it's not a monopoly because it's multiple companies, but they agree to keep it, you know, oligopoly, omegalopoly, basically tacit monopoly. They claim it's the Rockies, but it's bullshit. Every time you say I'm not gonna fall, it's going to the pre-fall video on Oki. I'm not gonna fall because I don't want to drop this. Like I wouldn't do that as a bit. I'm gonna make sure I don't fall. It would be very funny if I fell, but I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. This is a cool chair. Let me see. That rocks. That looks like a lawn chair. That'd be funny. I might get a pretty good chair. I have like an office chair from my previous place that's being moved in. But I might get like a decent one. Cause I'm sitting all the time. Is this mic tough? That probably makes sense. I don't know. I don't want to test it out. Yeah, it's fun. I've never lived by myself because I just have a. What is it when it's like just one room and then like a separate room for the bathroom? Is it a bachelor? It's good. I'm excited. It's a studio? Oh, okay. Yes, I should get a pink gamer chair. That's so true. Used office supply store. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I don't have a car though, which is a pain. Let me. No, it's way too bright. I can turn these on though. No more fruit coming from the floor. No, I gotta. My kitchen is right here. Is it too bright? Let me remove the exposed brick window. Apartment tour? Here you go. Fuck shit. There it is. There's your tour. Yeah. I literally just have a that was thrilling, yeah. I just have a what's it called? A blow up right now before my Marcus May. Thank you for the prime. Thank you for the 19 months. Oh yeah, Louisiana shit. I guess that was after. Yeah, it's getting worse, and it's just again, it's very objectively climate catastrophe. I think that's pretty easy to understand. I saw like the Mike Cernovich tweet and the New York floods, which are crazy. That is. Yeah, just like a fucking flash flood, and then in certain areas it's just a river. Nikulak, thank you for the 5 months. The subway was getting flooded. Yeah. Oh no, we did talk about that, but I guess it was before the fallout. I hope you stay safe. I mean, prof, that sucks. Yeah. It's obvious, you know. Are you getting your PC shipped? Yes. So it'll come on Thursday. Yeah, the footage of subway stations just fucking flooding. Crazy. And then like in the nicer areas that are more uptown or like more uphill, it's just fine. Like the flooding system works perfectly. It's literally the plot from Parasite. How's COVID? I think it's fine, although it's a university town. But everyone, thankfully, everyone has to be vaccinated to be in school. We love biopower, don't we, folks? So that's preferable. We getting? I don't know how that works because I didn't get vaccinated here, where I get my passport or whatever. There are exemptions. Yes, yes, of course. If you cannot get vaccinated, obviously. Prometheus, thank you for the prime. But other than those exemptions, like if you just don't want it because you're, anti-vax or whatever, you cannot do stuff on campus. You cannot take classes. You show them your second dose receipt. Okay, I still have that. Have you read Gödel, Escher, Bach? I've read a bit of Gödel, but that's it. I try to avoid. Is that analytic? I guess. Is that? How am I gonna do the lizard? We'll get the lizard back when I get my computer. Yeah. This is the next big thing. What's happening? University hospitals fire several employees for fake vaccination cards. This is an American story? Yeah, this is something I found very shocking. I don't know. Oh, is there another hype train? Kelly Voicer, thank you for the 7 months. Did I miss anything else? Thank you, Kelly. I don't know what triggered that, but thank you. If you'd like to subscribe, we just waving. Lots of good emotes, like the dancing lizard, which I cannot see in GIF form on the Twitch app. Maybe I have to update my Twitch app. I'm Prof, thank you for the 5 months. I wonder how the passports will be in Canada. Because, yeah, as far as you can just play the income tax return song. Because I cannot play it. Oh, actually. Let's see how this works. Does that work? Anonymous gifter, thank you for the gift sub. How's that? Does that work? I don't know how that sounds. Is that good? It's good? Okay, awesome. Second dose is gonna. Okay. If you like to, I don't know if you can hear how this is working. If you like to subscribe, we have lots of cool emotes. Like the lizard doing the wavy dance. Cold Eagle, thank you for 2 months. Seamless audio. Early Astro, thank you for the 20 months. I was worried I wouldn't have anything to talk about, but I guess just vibing works. Read the part of Capital. Mark says, well, no, but China made communist iPhone Pro, so it's fine. Billy Voo is a tier 3 subscriber to Keffels, as far as I understand, which is based. Shout out to Keffels. I'll hold it up so you know what's going on. Oh, he was gifted that? Oh, I see. Nikki, thank you for the gift sub. I should go to a Petit Belly Blue concert. It'd be fun. Fun to link up. This is so funny. I love how I have like the $400 mic and then just playing off an iPhone. Crazy Gamer, thank you for the gift sub. Listen, Mike, you're here at the lowest of the low situation. Honey Johnny, thank you for the gift sub. And Abellion Grape, thank you for the 2 months. This is the worst that it gets. This is extenuating circumstances. Banger. Absolute banger. Alright. The thing is almost done. Quality wasn't that bad? Well, that's good. It's because the mic is good. So we love to see it. Mike bullying small stream. Shaking my SMHing. SMHing my head. It was pretty bad, yeah, I assume. I assume it's good for the standard of playing a thing out of a phone. Do I have people give you money? I believe so, thank you. We love to see it. Yes, thank you for the raid. We should do some collab streams, especially now that I'm like streaming earlier because of the time zone change. Hold on, let me get a... I'm still worried about my computer. That fan is really... She's working her ass off. Oh, shit. I almost fell off my luggage again. In the future, everyone will be doing Mask Christmas style. Honestly, return to tradition. This is how stream should be. Oh yeah, I haven't heard anything about that, but I'm sure Will would be down for it still. I'm watching more films. I'm getting more into film. Because I think it's interesting. You know, just film in general, it's interesting. I'm working on an sort of a video essay thing. It's still just like very basic, but on like an analysis of Pasolini's work, which is wild. I really like Pasolini because he worked to sort of deconstruct, like basically just shock Italian society. I don't know how to do like the video essay format. It's hard. I was never good at like English classes, but maybe that's like lower level. I don't know. I've been told that lower level English classes are more specific, and I don't like that. Like this specific poetic device creates this effect, whereas I'm more of a fan of like larger sort of ideas. I guess, less technical information. Well, video essays, it's literary. It's an extension of literary critique, is the point I was making. Because they're in a sort of broad, similar category. But as a Deleuzian, I have to be good at literary critique. That's a rule. That's the law. But yeah, the point of Salo is basically like, as far as my reading, is like, this is a very deeply ingrained in Italian society. Italian society produced this thing that is going to shock Italy in the 70s. Like fascism, and it's as an aberration, came out of the aristocracy. It came out of, the four main characters are like what? It's like it's four powerful men, and they're like literally referred to as like the duke, the judge or whatever, the jurist. I can't remember the four specific ones, but they're the ones that do the. As a brief description, Salo is a recreation of 120 Days of Sodom, which just involves just basically sexual torture and violence. But it takes place in Salo, the Social Republic of Italy, the fascist German puppet state. Yeah, just watch. I mean, you don't have to watch the movie. It's fucking wild. There's literally multiple shit-eating scenes. Yeah, it's very gratuitous, but I think gratuitous, like Pasolini is making a point about the gratuity. It's a good. I like if you can tolerate that type of. It's a very good movie. Yeah, it literally is. Yes, like yeah. Going down the film iceberg. Yes. Fuck it. I might as well. What year is it? I think this is the 70s. And Pasolini was himself a gay communist who like was murdered in strange circumstances, like right after Salo. Hundred Days of Sodom is a book half written by Marquis de Sade. That wasn't it like he was in the Bastille when it was being broken out of, and he like left it there, and someone found it. But it's just like gratuitous sexual violence. It's a Marquis de Sade film or a book. Not that I haven't read it, but it adopts that idea. He was left there. He never thought it was going to get published, and they found it. Marquis de Sade. Am I saying it wrong? Oh yeah, there's a good video in the film. Oh cool. Marquis de Sade. Oh yes, I thought it was duh. It is not Tubman Man. It is not that. I disagree. I think it is like very technically competent, and the scenes are gratuitous, but I think they make a political point. Especially like the wedding scenes. Like I mean, one of the wedding scenes is literally one of the powerful men who's like cross-dressing, and is marrying one of the boys that they've kidnapped or whatever. That it's like the point of the emphasis on marriage and the wedding is that this is like aristocratic high Italian society destroying the social institutions, the forced weddings, yeah, destroying the social institutions that it itself was propped up on. Because if you think of like medieval Europe, like the institution of marriage, the Christian institution of marriage was a very important sort of tracker of familial politics. And it's like this is that higher society as it develops into the 20th century destroying itself. It's like this, yeah. Yeah, I mean it is absolutely gratuitous. So if like if yeah, if you can't or don't want to watch that type of thing, then it's most certainly not for you, and that's fair. But I think that the representation of how brutal and sort of uh yeah, how brutal and like bizarrely free flowing, but at the point centralized through like the individual strongman's ego fascism is. It's the individual desire of whichever one is in power. It's like yeah. Have I watched the new Cuck Philosophy? I haven't. It's talking about how Berserk, which I haven't watched, that anime is Nietzschean, right? Um, but no, I think it 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 tracks that element of fascistic desire in a way that like no other artistic project I've ever seen does. And the reason why that's the case is because like we don't want to show what that looks like because it's fucking awful. That this is why I think Sallow is a very interesting artistic piece because like that type of desire is fucking awful and you don't want to see it. Um, but that form of fascistic desire is like an undercurrent in society. It's the elephant in the room that no one that is present in politics that no one wants to look at, and that in certain particular instances, like in Italy in the 20s to 45, um, like really reared its ugly head. Yeah, like the church torturing. Yeah, exactly, and like molestation stuff. It's sort of sublimated and not spoken about. Um, but it's captured in this sort of entirely unsublimated, unrepressed instance within Sallow in a way that I haven't seen in any other artistic piece, which makes it gratuitous and awful. But I think for a particular purpose. Really, none of the actors agreed to voice. Yeah, there was a lot of um, Long Live Death. It's about the aftermath of the Spanish Civil War. Oh, interesting. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna write that down actually, so I cannot look at. I have a long ass um, checklist of things that I've bought on my notes app, so I have to. What's the name? Sallow. Salo. Like the city, like the capital of the Italian Social Republic, which is the fascist Italian fascist puppet state after the king dismissed Mussolini, and they switched sides. Criterion. I've heard of the Criterion Collection. Oh, that's really interesting. The Lunacy by John, which I'm not going to be able to pronounce. It's about an insane asylum ran by inmates. Huh. Okay. Yeah, there's another film I watched that one of my friends showed me called Throw Away Your Books, Rally in the Streets. It's a Japanese film in the 70s. I don't know how obscure it is because it's a very weird. It's like Japanese New Left. I quite enjoyed that as well. These are just films I've been watching. Um, my knowledge of technical stuff is non-existent. Like it's hard for me. Throw Your Book is a classic. Okay, yeah. It also has gratuitous sexual assault scenes, and I can't justify it. Like it's like really, it's like that doesn't even make sense in the plot. I don't know why you put that in there. But other than that, it's a very interesting sort of introspective into the Japanese New Left, I think, and their feelings of like alienation from the older generation, in which many of the people participated in like the war crimes of imperialism, and a society that didn't meaningfully reconcile with that. You can argue that even German society didn't really reconcile with fascism and Nazism, and the degree in which many people actively participated in the fascist project, Nazi project. Like there's a thing I saw, like more than half of Germans after World War II, when were polled, said that the Holocaust was justifiable. It was more than half. Polled after the war, after it had ended. Like there was, you know, I can't imagine growing up in that society afterwards and dealing with that sort of, and the Germans that were left, exactly. And so the same thing with Japan after. That's a real statistic. Thank you for backing me up. I can't. What is the specific number? If someone can find it, because I'm not in a position I can Google. That's not a statistic I can memorize. But it's that, but essentially the Japanese context, in which there's absolutely like even less of a reconciliation, right, of like war crimes, what was done in Imperial Japan, but then also this alienation as a product of the sort of new introduction of neoliberalism and the destruction of the family and the integration into like a purely market-based society. So it's like you're stuck on both ends of like this hierarchical family on one end, that many of which were complicit within the occupation of like Korea and China and other places, and the brutality involved there. And the other end is a move towards this sort of state-driven neoliberal politics. And it's like an anger about that, and about and fighting against censors, as far as I understand as well. I don't know. It's an interesting book. Or it's an interesting movie. Sounds like West Germany. True. Yeah, it is bizarre how very like less of a reconciliation there is. It's interesting. You can see like East Germany, as far as I understand, we've seen an increase in AfD support, Alternative for Deutschland, like the fascist party, but it's only younger people. It's only post-unification. All of the older people vote like Labour, basically, like SDP. Which I don't know about German politics that much, admittedly. I don't think Germany and Japan are compatible. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Japan is that's sort of the point I made. I guess that it's worse in Japan. SPD? Oh, you're right. It is very interesting. Also, I was thinking about how like this is a very bizarre phenomenon. I feel like Zizek talks about this maybe, that like right after World War II, there's like the East Germans like immediately like what is the name of their police force? Like the Volkspolizei, the Volkspolizei. There is something very bizarre about that, of like the people's, like right after World War II, the Volkspolizei. Is it the Stasi? What am I thinking? What's the Volkspolizei? Policia, whatever, I'm butchering it. Like the use of Volk, although it's obviously radically radically changed in terms of its context. There's an interesting confidence there, which I mean clearly like it's folk. You're right, because VF, yeah. That you didn't even see in West Germany. Although I think that the West Germans didn't deal with. The East Germans clearly dealt with fascism in a much better way. Populism updates. Let's see. Let me try to. Far-right AfD campaigns in Turkish German votes. Poster claiming Ataturk would vote for the party. I can't show this, but I guess here. The thing is Ataturk would have voted for the AfD. That's hilarious. What is the That's inexplicable to me. What is the voting block of like Turkish Germans? Um, because I wouldn't have expected them to be AFD. Largely apolitical. That makes sense. What happened to streaming gear? I'm moving, so I temporarily don't have it, but I'll have it soon. Like that classic meme of like, um, German or Turkish person talking about how great Turkey is from their apartment in Berlin, and it's the guy like typing. Oh, it'll tell me? Okay, let's see. Turkish people in Germany that participate in anti-vax and fire protests. So SPD are leading right now in Germany. I agree, fucking stupid. So see, it fucking crashed. I hate my stupid phone. I need to get a new phone. I have an 8S, but it's so slow. Apple is so terrible, but I will keep buying that garbage. I will keep using it. So the SPD are winning in the polls, and then conservative Democrats, and then Die Linke. Die Linke. I don't know how that's pronounced. I like to imagine it's Die Linke. Linke is at like 6. Oh, is that different? Oh yeah. Oh sorry, Greens are third. It's Die Linke. Oh, okay, thank you. Linke is 6th. Let me see. Federal election poll. The last very long German word poll. CDU would not win a single state with the second vote. Oh wow. Oh, that's bizarre. Oh, so they're like, wow. Delinky? SPD ruled out Delinka solely for their anti-NATO stance. There's the classic SPD politics. Show food. Genoese salami. It's very good, like non-local salami. So wherever you go, at least in Canada, I always see that, and it's very, very good. Good stuff. We love spicy food. It's not that spicy. Let me get some water, actually. Hold on. Oh. My water was here all along. Liv is white. Many are saying this. Many are saying this. Shit. Weird. I do not have a fan, but the apartment came with a air conditioner. Air conditioning? Air conditioner. It came with air conditioning. Like it's a big fucking thing outside the. So that's good. It's not too hot at the moment though. Interview that was done with Pasolini. Oh, interesting. Um. Yeah, I wonder what Pasolini has to say about it. I love having conditioned air. Yeah, it's not too bad at the moment though. Farmers' protest shut down Berlin. Lots of Trump signs. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not a surprise with farmers' politics. This film, Sex is Nothing But Allegory. Metaphor for the commodification of bodies subject to power. I think that consumerism manipulates and violates bodies, neither more nor less than Nazism. My film shows the sinister connection between consumerism and Nazism. That's interesting. Because my connection was that it's a critique of traditional society, but I didn't think about Pasolini moving forward with its criticism. But that makes sense. That stands up. Oh, thank you, Alphonse. I consider consumerism to be fascism worse than the classical one because clerical fascism didn't really transform Italians, didn't enter into them. It was a totalitarian state, but not a totalizing one. That's interesting. That's the distinction Deleuze makes between fascism and totalitarianism, I guess. But Pasolini's, I guess, saying that like consumerism is more fascist, which I think is interesting. Yeah, that totally coincides with my politics. Again, it's looking at like where the fuck did this come from? Fascism doesn't just happen. It's not like, oh, this human nature sometimes these bad guys, which is sometimes how I feel like Umberto Eco explains fascism. No, it's a product of a sort of repressed social energy within capitalist society. That energy goes somewhere. Sometimes it goes into its own repression to such an extent that you get something as barbarous as Nazism. Or barbarous isn't a good use of. It's not a good word. Yeah. Anti-Castro Cuban protests in front of the White House. They wanted a military intervention. Yeah, no, America will never intervene, military intervention in Cuba. That would not benefit them. Like even just that's way too much. Thank God, you know. Marcuse has a paper on that. Oh, interesting. That makes sense. I'll have to look more at what Marcuse has to say about fascism as well. Another important, like, first generation Frankfurt thinker. Yeah, Proud Boys are sort of brown shirts. You think he was going to increase its market stuff? I think it will. I don't think a state can be committed, like especially one that's. I mean, like maybe not. That's probably too far. But I think the state that Cuba is in, I don't think it. I don't see how it wouldn't. However, One Dimensional Man. I have a while ago. I was trying to reread it. I actually brought it to Kingston because I couldn't bring like any of my books. What books did I bring? Because I was traveling on plane. I got Anti-Oedipus, A Thousand Plateaus. Let me look. Hold on. Das Capital, Das Capital. K-Punk, which is Fisher's blog. I brought Poetics by Aristotle because I'm in the middle of reading it. What else did I bring? Oh yeah, Dialectic of Enlightenment, and then One Dimensional Man. I think those are the books. Those are the books I brought. See if I can get my parents to like ship some of the books I left behind. But yeah, I don't imagine Cuba not going towards that type of market reform. Yeah, it's hard to like use the regulatory bodies of like an entrenched capitalist state. And I guess you know it's a better market reform than like China's market reforms. But I don't see how they could stem that tide, especially when it's been a while. It's been however long since the Cuban Revolution. Um, that being said, obviously, there's one thing about, like, yeah, obviously it's not, Cuba isn't actively working to abolish the commodity form, which seems clear to me. But then there's another thing of being like, but also Castro was a fucking tanky, he sucked. I think that's lame. I think I absolutely understand what Castro did, and it's a very admirable thing that he did for the Cuban people. Um, yeah, it's rock in a hard place. It's hard to, Kobo, you can borrow books from libraries directly. Oh, cool. Oh, thank you. Because, yeah, I usually do, like, LibGen stuff on my laptop, but that's... What do you think about D&G Explain Capital and Anti-Oedipus? I think it's very cut down, obviously, from Marx. They leave quite a bit. Because it's interesting. The Marx-Freud synthesis is very common in the 20th century. There's quite a few people who are trying to do that. And Deleuze and Guattari also do that, but they cut out so much from both of them. Like, and explaining, like, I still think they're quite in debt to Freud, just in the basis of the idea that desire is produced as a sort of physiological thing, and that you could call it the libido. It's just that they say that it isn't repressed or sublimated by an ego. It's just directly, invests itself into the social field. It doesn't need a mediation. But that's still quite a bit of Freud that is, like, important. The D&G's political economy flows is super interesting. Something I didn't realize is that the codes and the flows stuff is actually taken from, I believe it's Keynes. Like, the notion of codes, flows, and stocks is like capitalist monetary stuff, right? But and obviously Deleuze and Guattari take away the stock part because the subject is sort of, even the object, I guess it's more the object, is undercut. Surplus value of code is, well, as far as I understand it, how do I, or surplus value of flux. Yeah, it's interesting how flux is the same, flow and flux are the same in I feel like the translation that I'm reading doesn't clarify that. Yes, Dolce, I'm talking about Dolce and Gabbana. What if he would different path of shade didn't die? Oh, I don't know. Because he didn't seem like he was a fan of governing. Like, that wasn't... I'm trying to think of connecting the idea of... Because surplus value in Deleuze and Guattari is really not what it is in the Marxist context. How long have I been going here? Hold on. It's very removed from how Marx talks about the valorization process. Where's my chat? Hold on. 3 hours? Oh, nice. That's cool. It's so hard to... It's funny because I just reread Anti-Oedipus. Or most of it. I still have to finish it. But it's so hard where you're like, yes, I understand that. And then it's like, it's very technical. Yeah, I guess the how do you get into that? There's some part about Deleuze and Guattari that I like insofar as it is metaphysics. Like, they're still doing metaphysics, but in the cartographic way is very interesting because it doesn't, like, claim a universality. I think it's better described as like, this is a way of viewing things. Best of any Oedipus needs to read Marx first. Maybe not Marx. Marx isn't. I would not classify Marx as an essential read for anti-Oedipus. I think it takes very. I think Freud is more important probably. What other like essential figures? Who creates the concept of a multiplicity? Who uses that? Why am I blanking on their name? Lacan is also important, especially with like the signifying chain stuff, which is really weird. Chains of, not Husserl. Husserl uses it, I guess. It's someone else that its multiplicity is used from. Bergson, that's it. Thank you. Bergson is important. Spinoza is very important. Yes, Spinoza. Read the lecture series, the Deleuze lecture series on Spinoza, the Deleuze lecture series on Hume, as well as on Nietzsche, and then probably Difference in Repetition, because like the different syllogisms and are taken directly from Difference in Repetition. You should read all of that if you want Deleuze and Guattari before Marx, but you should still read Marx. Deleuze's books on philosophers are super interesting. Yeah. There's something really interesting because he like offers these like radically different readings of very well-known thinkers. But there's a care for the text. Like Deleuze loves to do this thing where he's like, actually this thinker agrees with me, when clearly they don't. And it says far more about him than Difference in Repetition is way harder than Anti-Oedipus. Yes, yeah, that's true. Actually, I guess Deleuze is a trickster. He's literally like, I am going to pretend that this person agrees with me, but he does it in a way which like really does care about the text. What is a philosopher you think people should read first? Oh, I mean, if you want to like fucking get through the whole thing, you start with Plato and Aristotle. Because a lot of the discussions and disagreements between Plato and Aristotle play themselves out in philosophy. There's is it Whitehead that makes the joke, which is also a hilarious name, that philosophy is footnotes to Plato. I think that's probably, it's a joke, but what was I going to say? Like, even the disagreement between Freud and Deleuze on desire and whether desire is a lack. Because Deleuze says there's this idea that there are two general ideas of desire. If you can sort of distinguish them. And they come from both Plato, desire is a lack, or Aristotle, which is more desire is productive. That manifests even in Deleuze's disagreement with Freud. Where like Freud, and you can even see this in like the existentialists, they see desire as a wanting of something in the world that isn't there. This lack of an object that must exist somewhere. Symposium, right, where the desire discourse begins, with Plato talking about how desire is the marriage between the gods of poverty and wealth, I think. So there is this enjoyment within desire. There's this consumption, but fundamentally it will never be enough. There will always be this lack that drives desire. That's one example. That's the Freudian view, or Sartre views this as well. And then the Deleuzean response, which is more Aristotelian, is that like that lack is a mere byproduct of desire. Desire produces itself. Desire is productive. It invests itself into a social field. It cannot be seen outside of that production. And the lack is a mere sort of scraping, a byproduct of that fundamental positive production. And that's a discourse that begins in ancient Greece and is still present, right? That's the thing about a lot of philosophy, is that it's very sort of embedded within thousands of years of discussion. I've heard a lot about desire and happiness, but has anyone written extensively about fear? Um, I'm sure. Um, I would argue that fear exists within desire if you view it productively, or even within the lack. It's a strong desire against a particular thing, even. Yeah, Kierkegaard. Yeah, I guess Kierkegaard. But that's anxiety, which I think is different. But I guess it still applies. Um, yeah, there's this idea in Kierkegaard that we are forced, we're cursed to be free, that we are cursed to make decisions over and over again, and we are cursed to regret our decisions, and to not understand what could have possibly been if we had decided something else. So this freedom is like there's this just existential anxiety about that fact, which is very important for a lot of other thinkers. Um, it's crazy. It's wild stuff. I haven't read any of the guides. There's a really good lecture series by Mark Smith that I would recommend if you want to get into Anti-Oedipus. Like I think it's a Daniel Smith? No, it's Daniel Smith. No, wait, fuck. I think it's something Mark C. Smith. Let me check. I believe let me check. No, that's someone else. What is his fucking name? Oh, it's Daniel Smith. Okay, yeah. There's a lecture series that he talks about Anti-Oedipus, and it's a good intro because it really dives deep into it, and it's difficult to. Did you link it? Oh yes, that's it. Daniel Smith lectures. Thank you. I need to get more into Bataille. He seems fucking crazy. We need to conceptual James to read capitalism and schizophrenia. I remember he talked about Deleuze. People name searched. And he was very confused. He thought that Deleuze and Guattari were Freudian. He's very confused about that. He was having a tough time. He read the title, that's it. Fear is a specific effect on our brains. I wonder how that would be conceptualized in literature, or like what the studies that would determine that, how they conceptualize fear. Yeah, the book title is quite literally Anti-Oedipus. That is, yeah. It's like when people say that Marx is a political economist, and then the subtitle to Capital is Critique of Political Economy. But like, it's worse than that because it's not. At least it's the subheading, not the title. Cursed Share is fun. I've heard that. The subtitle is Critique of Political Economy. Yeah, Heinrich is funny. I tried to get more in depth into Marxian economics, and it's interesting. It feels like it's a lot of like Marxian economics. There's a really funny meme that, fuck, can I show this through the screen? It's like Marxian economists. I always fuck up that word. Economics economist. Why are they not said the same? It's bullshit. Marxian economists versus Marxian philosophers. And the economists are like this very sort of nuanced statistical, analyses. And then the philosophers are like, let's watch Kung Fu Panda. And it's Fisher and Zizek. I can't find it. Isaiah Berlin. I think his notes on Marx are actually interesting. I don't live in a black void anymore. I'm sick of having to deal with Road to Serfdom, and I think his distinction between positive and negative liberty is dumb. But I mean, this is more like I had to read him and I don't want to anymore. Can you do this? That's the classic Tubman man. What is that? What the fucking what's that tweet by the take a look, y'all. Yeah. Take a look, y'all. Classic. Yeah, so I'm not that familiar with Berlin, admittedly. Oh, let's see. Let me read this Natalie tweet. Someone sent it. Look, the people calling me a CIA plant aren't right, but they're not entirely wrong either. The higher ups don't want me to stay, but I think I can hint. The actual content of my tweets is almost completely irrelevant. The real message is hidden in the metadata. Oh shit. Damn, this is like. See, I'm a type of CIA agent that I don't even hide it. I just say it. I don't put it as an ARG in the metadata. Shaking my head. Yeah, I guess this is a standing desk. That's what's going on. It's not that I don't have furniture. It's that I'm choosing to stand. Lives in Maryland. Oh yeah, Void Keffels. I saw that Twitter account. I'm 80% convinced that account is just nonsense and it's someone trolling. Oh, the Solar Anus is funny. That's a good book. Which it's hilarious. It's a book by Bataille because like if anyone watches the Julian Field stream, there are people who literally do that. They literally sun their ass. Like, surely, presumably not in reference to that book. Yeah, hilarious. Occult stuff is cool. Yeah, I have a Contra video that's being edited. Actually, I need to give. Fuck, I forgot to give editor voice lines. I'll do that after the stream. That should be out soon. It's a response to Contra and analysis of Nietzsche, and like an explication of left Nietzscheanism. Oh yeah, it's like the. There you go. Is that your fucking meme template? It's a classic. I love pretending to do the soy Wojak. Tried to send earlier. Let me see. Oh, I see. Yeah. Really is fucking annoying to sit on this damn suitcase. Suitcase is not comfortable, folks. More like Natalie Luz. Nice. Get her. Yeah, this is Canadian jail. I have 0 chairs. Well, it's a studio apartment, and it did not come with chairs. And actually, because I was like, I'm not gonna get a desk chair, because I'm getting one on Tuesday when my fucking stuff moves in. But like I can have 2 chairs. I don't know why I decided not to do that. Yeah, there's no reason why I can't just have more than one chair. That's probably a good idea. Your phone close to the camera? Why? Is it like, is that good? Are you happy? Yeah, that's bourgeois. It's like that TikTok of that girl who's like I'm like a ground person, and so is my partner, and so here's our apartment, and there's no furniture. It's just like sofas, like, it's just like fucking like mattresses on the floor, and then it's like here's this one chair, and it's made to like hold my clothes, and it's like a $7,000 chair. It's hilarious. This is such a funny. That's me. Yeah, that's me basically. That's what your donations go to, is the $7,000 chair to put my laundry on. Incredible. Mattress on the floor, but in a rich way. Yeah, we're floor people. What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean you're a floor person? What is that? No, if yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, I'm gonna get a $2.7 million chair. Buying an Eames chair to use as a laundry basket. Yeah, I was thinking about buying like a used Herman Mueller or whatever, one of those nicer chairs all the streamers have. I don't. Is it? I've heard it's like actually comfortable, and that's good because I have a really bad back, and I might as well, right? You won't regret it. Okay. My posture is awful, anyways, so maybe that's a good idea. It wasn't laundry, it was specifically knitwear. That is psychotic. I love it. You can get them used here at office supply stores. Okay. It's a pain. I wish I had someone with a car at least. Because I'm either getting stuff shipped or I'm like taking an Uber or the bus with stuff. It's a pain. This stream is very anti-floor. Yes, because I've had to fucking live in this apartment with the only furniture is a fucking air mattress for the last like 2 or so days. I hate it. It's miserable. Why would you choose this? This is terrible. I don't want to sit on the floor. I want furniture. Can you rent a car? I don't drive. I can't drive. That's the problem. That's the other problem is I don't know how to drive. That would solve my problem, but yeah. You found it. Let me just play this. I'll play it on the fucking.
Here's how my home is decorated without any normal furniture. I live with my partner and we're both very much floor people. So there's floor cushions instead of a couch, books stacked on the floor instead of in a bookcase, and the bed is a tatami mat with a futon on top instead of a bed frame and a mattress. There's one chair in the room, but it's not meant to be sat on. This chair was designed by Rei Kawakubo, and it just holds knitwear.
Seven.
No dining table,
Psychotic.
no shoe rack, no potted plants.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't want to watch anymore. It makes me mad. Calling your sis. Oh, is that. Do they have a cis boyfriend they refer to as their partner? That's a classic. Which I guess it works. It's true. They're your partner. Is that a thing like where it's like if you should refer to your significant other as your partner no matter what? Is that a take? Because that's the thing like queer people do to not have to talk about, or if someone's not binary, or if you don't want to talk about if you're a girl and you have a girlfriend. I'm gonna gatekeep partner from the cishets. I'm doing it. I'm officially doing it. What are you gonna do? Yeah, owns. Some like partner because it applies more equality. I don't understand that, but okay, I guess. Um, yeah, I guess if you're a cowboy slash cowgirl slash cow person, then there's a different connotation. I want to see if I can change. It keeps zooming out. There's no settings on here. That's really annoying. Let me try to filters. I can't see anything. Properties. I don't know. That's annoying. Is it almost piss filter? I guess sort of. It's less natural light now. That's why. It's the light in my kitchen. Almost fell. But I did not fall, so see. When am I debating John Zerka? I don't know who that is. Are they tangentially related to Haas infrared? He's like infrared. Oh, okay, nice. Cowpoke is the neutral term. I see. We see Charm holds a individual of culture with all 3 subscriptions. Is Zerka not a Dangus though? Because that feels like it's a big element of Haas is the Dangism, right? Oh, he's not political. He's just Dubra. Oh, okay, I see. They just look the same. Okay, and they've got that like energy, that alpha male energy. I saw that. I rated into Keffels when they were watching that like Haas flirt with an e-girl or whatever. Non-political Hassan. Oh, okay. Or non-political. Okay, I see. There was something I found that was funny, which is that Haas Infrared is on a podcast with the Epic Mealtime guy, which is a hilarious crossover. We love to see it. Vaush hangs out in Keffel's stream. So does Mike. No, Keffels is the up and up. New best streamer. They're getting noticed. We love to see it. We love it, folks, don't we? Were I affected by the hate raids? Somewhat. Uh, we have good resources to deal with them though, so it wasn't really a big deal. And the update for the Twitch strike. So it was like pretty significant, right? It was like wasn't it a fourth of viewership or something for a day? Am I correct in that? A drop in 1 million, 5 to 5. Oh, okay. Something. Okay. Was there any like? Has there been any sign of any pushback? Because the thing that worries me always is like big corporations do not like acquiescing to strikes. If they don't have to, they won't. Because acquiescing to strikes shows that they work. It seems to me at least that a large portion of whether the strike will work is based not on actually like how much money Twitch would lose, but how bad it makes them look, which is the weird like post-capitalist strike that is ingrained into sign value. Like it's based on how things are perceived and not based on income and production and the capacity to produce. But I mean, if it fucking works, I guess. I don't. It's like weird. Yeah, it's like optics or revenue or like. And like the 10% dip is to show how many people support the optics position. Twitter's already working on fixes. It's just sped it up a tiny bit. Right. Okay. I guess that isn't surprising. Buns, thank you for the 7 months. If I like the partner streamer, they only must show ads. I don't have to show ads. Or I guess I do show ads. I have not manually ran an ad in a year. Because, fuck that. It's not worth it. I'm probably more than a year. They're not actually. Is it Twitch ad block or Chrome? Oh, does it? Oh, that's cool. Did Asmongold get banned? What did Asmon get banned for? The attention economy reputation is what counts. Yeah, it's bizarre. To get money from Twitter? No. Well, I'm not on Twitter. They finally added those super follows after I left. But no, getting paid there's nothing that is worth going back on Twitter. Quite literally being also getting paid, because my stream and stuff would probably be bigger if I was constantly tweeting out the stream link. But it's not worth it. It's genuinely not worth it for me. I don't care. I'll take the L. I hate Twitter. I hate Twitter so much, it's unreal. Only for purpose of getting harassed or harassing someone. Literally, yes. Like 90% of Twitter is scolding. Like maybe more than 90%. I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna fall. See, I'm like standing, like my legs are split, and then the suitcase is like under me, and then I stand there. So because it does not have very good structural integrity. But if I do this, it's sort of uncomfortable, but I won't fall. Only social media platform that has any value for me. That's fair. The one thing that's a pain about Twitch is like it's hard to get followers. there's no like algorithm. It's mainly like, I guess, yeah, it's only collabs really, or outside of Twitch, like YouTube, people uploading stream clips to YouTube. Like Twitch has a pretty weak. There is, yeah, that's true. There is, but it's not very good. Yeah, yeah, I guess it is because like the suggestion I got to you through suggestions. Well, that's cool. I wonder, is there anyone here that got here because of like the trans tag on my stream? Yeah, and it's not for. It's hard to. It's impossible to get discovered as well, right? It's only big. You got that? That's cool. Why some people use trot as an insult? Trotskyites are a very interesting group. Usually, they're quite passionate, typically, and love to splinter. There's a lot of Trotsky jokes. Um, oh, can you hear that? It's like raining. No, it probably doesn't pick up. You don't see any tags? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it didn't work for this one. Um. Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Maybe it's because I went live with like OBS because I was unable to edit anything. That's fine. Whatever. Usually it has the trans tag and all that. I'm using OBS and not Streamlabs because it seems to be running it better on my shitty MacBook Air. Because Streamlabs is OBS, it's just literally a reskin of it, and then they like make money off of it, which is shitty. But I'm not very technically capable, and so it helps me, so I use it. But I probably shouldn't. It's sort of a shitty. Because yeah, OBS is like open source. I'm usually the #1 trans streamer on Twitch. That's true. That is really saying a lot about how few trans people stream on here, which I understand. I saw like, and this is not a knock on Hassan because it's just like if you have this many viewers, this is what happens. But he watched a clip of mine and referring to me as she, and there was a couple people in the chat who were like, "She? Why are you referring to this man?" Like, and that's not because that's just because of how big Hassan's stream is. That there are going to be people who are like that. Some people are probably hate watching as well. But yeah, like that's just like, yeah, Twitch is not a particularly welcoming site. Yeah, mods are usually on top of it. Absolutely. That was not a knock on Hassan. Yeah, lots of hate watchers. That is. I don't think I've accrued any of that though, which is good. It's a balance, right? Because if you get bigger, then you get people who hate watch. Yeah, hate watchers in the chat, sound off. That's like the Maoist thing where he like Mao introduced a campaign to criticize him, and then it's like, oh, we'll take notes about who's like criticisms of the government are open, and then the particularly bad ones, it's like, oh, let's take notes. That's what I'm doing right now. Is it called the Thousand Flowers campaign? Maybe I don't know if that's real. That's the thing where it's like maybe I did that, or maybe I saw a fucking meme on Facebook written by a conservative boomer that said that, and it's not real. It's 50-50 in my head right now. Oh, it's real? Okay. Which is a baller move. I gotta say. That is very funny. Half true? Okay. We love half truths. Yeah, real hate watchers hate subscribe. That's so true. I agree. Oh yeah, no more Jackbox. Yeah, we can bring that back. I can't do it now, obviously. Will you get a Pro Box? What do you mean? What's that? You like my wings? Thank you. Yeah, I went and got makeup. I never buy makeup, but I was like out buying a bunch of shit, so I was like, I don't have any eyeliner. Three schools went on lockdown after gunshots and screaming. Commotion was from a gender reveal. Gender reveals have gone too far, folks. Unknown Merc, thank you for 11 months. Did I call that an anecdote? No. Did I say that the Stalin joke like it was true? No. The one about which it's a very funny joke. Another casualty in the gender wars. That's so true. If you're intersex and you're raised non-binary, are you cis? It's a good question. Wow. I think the assignment is societal, but that says a lot about our society. Which, yes, I mean, if transphobia was destroyed, there wouldn't be cis or trans. Is the point that's essentially being made there? I don't, if not intentionally. That is an interesting thing. I've like can't remember who brought up this point, but the idea that like intersex people do really like they throw a sort of wrench in the simplified distinction between cis and trans. Yeah. Although to a certain respect, um, a lot of intersex people are still forcefully gendered in one specific binary way. Yeah, because there's a problem of like, what's it called? Um, viewing sex as this objective thing. Um, that is like not particularly political. That gender is sort of enfolding onto sex. That like sex is still an inherently political concept. The distinction between sexes is an inherently political concept as well. You know, yeah, Butler, you know. Much like trans people throwing a wrench to simplified sexual distinctions. Yeah. The distinctions are never as easily understood or as easy as they're often put in sort of public social discourse. Are non-binary people trans? I think so, yeah. Corbin Grad, thank you for the 9 months. Yeah, right? Wasn't there like the trans flag, the white on it is for non-binary people? It's like pink, white, and blue? Or is that not a thing? I remember saying that and then someone said no, that's not the point. But yeah, by the literal definition, transgender. they are, right? Um, yeah, if something is not cis, that's the funny thing where TERFs are like, I'm not cis. It's like, that's just a logical. If someone is trans, like it's such a bizarre point to die on. Like if someone else, if trans people are trans, what is the opposite of that? And yeah, I mean, there's a certain respect in which, um, but yeah, I mean, the category of trans necessarily flattens a shit ton of different ways of existing. I don't have pronouns is such a classic, where it's like the language understander has logged on. That's the I still just as a curiosity, I still follow. There's a couple of accounts. I'm surprised they're still going. Like ran by people genuinely in the Taliban. Um, Gender binary is relatively Western thing. That's also a good point. Concept of gender in Sikhism is pre-British Raj was relatively fluid. Essence of the soul is genderless. There's evidence of Guru Nanak meeting gender non-conforming people. That's interesting. Yeah, there's a bunch of different cases in non-Western institutions of gender, in which like there's non-binary people, there's a third gender. I don't believe in free speech. It's so true. 1984. This is what Orwell predicted when he wrote 1984 was trans people. Um, oh yeah, the Taliban thing. There are Taliban accounts still, which is bizarre. I'm surprised that Twitter hasn't banned them. I guess they're not like explicit. I don't know. Audiker, I think. Thank you for the 11 months. But there was a recent meme posted by one of them that was like, "Are you gonna turn the pronouns of LGBT people into like was instead of like she her? It's was." And it's like that's a verb, not a pronoun. It's a bad meme. Very, very bad meme by the Taliban. Ian Buttersley, thank you for the 6 months. That is also a really bizarre. I understand the joke. Yes, I understand the point. Is that it's yes, but they don't make those memes. This is another very bizarre phenomenon of like there are a couple people who are genuinely in the Taliban who like know enough English that they go online and post like soy wojaks. This is a phenomenon. There's a couple of them, and they're genuinely in the Taliban, or at least like they genuinely live in Afghanistan and are like fluent in Pashto. And there are people who there are like right wing people in America who are like Malang. Yes, that was the dude who posted it. This is an account I follow, just out of morbid curiosity. Oh, maybe he had to delete that because Twitter was like, no. Yeah, very strange phenomena. Because he's clearly like posting based on approval. Like when people are like, "Oh my god, that's so crazy." But yeah, we have a genuine phenomena in which there are some um what's it called? There are like some young conservative Americans, or conservatives probably not even the right way, like fascist Americans who are like, Taliban not so bad. Like, wait, why do we not like the Taliban? It's a very strange phenomenon, which makes sense in a certain sense because they want all the same absurd things that the Taliban wants, but just they haven't been all LGBTQI pronouns as to was/were, which yes, those are not pronouns. That doesn't make sense, Malang. Your meme sucks. Um, Dave Rubin loves Bolsonaro. That's another but that one's like conceivable. Like if you asked me what Dave Rubin had to say about Bolsonaro, I'd be like, he probably likes him because there's that weird like globalist nationalism solidarity between like Trump and Bolsonaro, for instance. Bar Serrano, yes, the way that what's his name Lindell pronounces it, or he just referred to him as Brazil, was hilarious. Oh yeah, and then the TERFs in the UK being like, well, at least the Taliban understand gender. It's like that's not the own you think it is. All politics is international because I mean a lot of that is just like globalization, of course, which is both communication as well as capital. Capital moves beyond borders quite fluidly. Goods move beyond borders quite fluidly. Our economies are more integrated than they've ever been, which makes politics way more international. Yeah, but yeah, the you wouldn't have expected the Taliban as much because it's not as if like Trump is pro Bolsonaro, right? Trump is not pro Taliban. It really does indicate something about like current right wing, edgy conservative politics. That's the thing. The own. Oh, did you clip me saying the Taliban were good out of context? Yes, I will be. Um, I will be referring to my personal lawyer Alan Dershowitz for a defamation lawsuit. You have slandered my name. Yeah, last stream. What's another malign post? I mean, yeah, they're like literally memes. Yeah, I mean, this is literally. Can you see it? You can't see it. It's the like, hey, look, Joe, I got drip. Silly Taliban, you can't have drip. And then it's a photo of him having drip, and then Taliban is sad because he's not making those memes. Someone is sending those to him. Some like 16-year-old Pepe on Twitter is making those memes and sending it to him, or finding them elsewhere and then sending it to him, and he is posting them because he's like, there are people in the West who support us. Yeah, but I think that really indicates both like a bizarre like, yeah, when people say the Zoomers are all right, it's like, okay, half of Zoomers are more radical on the left, and the other half are just like saying bang or tweet, Mr. Taliban member. Like those are the two. So I don't know. Malang Stone Tusk. Yeah, see, it's and apparently this guy is real. Like he was in a Twitter space, um, like talking very fluently in Pashto and then responding in broken English, and he's posting pictures of himself in Kabul. It's very weird. Um, it's very. There's a. Yeah. Oh yeah, this photo rocks. I'm gonna do the meme again where I post. Look at the dude that right there. Incredible drip, unimaginable drip. Like genuinely, that's a great fit. It's so bizarre. I want to argue that the fall of like the pullout of America from Afghanistan is the first like truly global political event. Maybe that's probably not true, but it feels like it is because that felt like a very historically significant moment, right? Like of in terms of like the history of the region, like a marker that is, you know, worth noting about in like a fucking history book. Like it felt like history is happening, right? But everyone was posting about it in a way that I've never seen with any other like significant, in that sense, in that scale, political events. It's like the level of the the fall of I don't know if it's called the fall. That's sort of a weird way of putting it. But the America pulling out of Vietnam. Yeah, I mean it's yeah. It's yeah. And there's such a weird, it's such a weird way to experience history. It's yeah, I don't know how that affects politics. I guess you have to look at Baudrillard, what he writes about the hyperreal. But it's a very radically, I feel like, different way of experiencing history. The interconnectedness. Marriages in Sikh are the uniting of two souls, and souls are genderless. Oh, that's cool. No direct reference to heterosexual marriage in the text. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, there's like there are some like indigenous people who like are it's the phrase is like twin spirited or two spirited. It's a general sort of phenomenon of a gender that doesn't exist within it. The closest equivalent is trans, but there are some who say like um that like LGBT is a Western construct, like it's an Western understanding of identity that's like you can be twin spirited and not LGBT. Many indigenous people also say that they're both, of course. But that is a general point, right? It's beyond the sort of the Western institution of gender that we take, we many of us at least take for granted to such an extent. Kilroy was here stuff. Well, yeah, but I think it's in a really different way though. The Kilroy was here meme, which is the one that the Allied troops, the American troops mainly, I think, or the Anglo troops would draw as they were like going to certain areas during World War II. And it was like a meme, right? It was a inside joke that sort of had a situational relevance. But that's in a way different respect than the current ones, right? In a certain respect, it's the same. It's human. But in another respect, particularly as a result of technology, it's wildly different. The talking point LGBT is Western is using Eastern Europe to argue for fascism. Well, the irony of that is like because their institutions of gender are the same. They mean it obviously in a different sense, and I'm assuming that wasn't like an attack on me or whatever. But because it's like LGBT is Western, we need to enshrine the Catholic Church to decide what marriage is. It's like, well, Western in this sense applies to your institutions of gender, right? So it doesn't. Obviously, it's a bullshit talking point. Malang just posts memes. He's a member of the Taliban who posts those types of memes like a Pepe would. Weird. How many people are watching still? It doesn't show me on this. Let me see. I think refreshing works. Is it? It says 430. Are 400? Are you guys 450? You're really still watching this shit? Okay, wow. It's been around there for a while. Wow, okay. I was like, everyone's left. I'm just fucking rambling. Going through Liv withdrawal, that's true. Well, thank you. I'm glad you all like my dumb ramblings. Also, thank you to Mike if you're still here for the raid. What's another Malang. He has some. It's funny, the Taliban accounts will sprinkle in like genuinely good critiques of Western imperialism memes, like a meme that could be made by a communist, you know, where it's one of them, that Malang account posted, like, it's a photo of all the different presidents and their wives, like from recent presidents and their wives, like it's like a friend photo sort of thing, and it's like, you know, bombed Afghanistan, husband bombed Afghanistan, son bombed Afghanistan, and just like a list of all the different. It's like banger post, Mr. Taliban. Um, it's bizarre. It's a very bizarre, like, combination, which I mean makes sense. You know, the cynical appropriation of, you know. But again, it's so weird. Hold on. The reason why that's weird is just because it's like that post was probably made by like a lefty, but like he saw it and he was like a member of the Taliban saw it and was like, I'm gonna post this. And there's something that's so strange about that. Glass Speed Game, thank you for the gift sub. Yes, issuing correction on previous posts of mine regarding the terror group, the Taliban. You do not, under any circumstances, gotta have it to them. Gotta hang it to them. Hand it to them. Yeah, that's what makes that. That's what makes it truly a global event for me. Is that the idea that there are like oh yeah, he was like Sneed posting or whatever, like Simpsons references. Yeah, very strange. Very strange stuff. Sneed, it's like a Simpsons thing, right? Isn't that what that's from? Is it weird to feel worthless after quitting 2 jobs in succession? That's the thing. I know that Mark Fisher talks about this. The like that capitalism attempts to and often makes you feel as if like um you're you are not capable of doing meaningful labor or of meaningfully contributing to the world, and it's bullshit. Basically, all of this is bullshit. The people who get things, it's for bullshit reasons. Those who are unable to find like a niche or a position in which they can find some meaningful um, um, something meaningful in their labor, it's not because they are less worthy. If that helps. I don't. It's from Dr. Zeus. I actually don't. That's what I saw someone say, that the Taliban was Sneed posting, and I thought it referenced that Simpsons thing. Does it not? Yeah, the on the subject of colonialism of gender, yeah, like in the Indian subcontinent, Western gender norms were used as a way of extending imperialism. It helps, yeah, subjugation of peoples, destruction of cultures, um, the worsening of the caste system, but under sort of British occupation. Like an example, Shreen Razak gives, who's a good Canadian scholar, um, is of this sort of use of concerns for like women's rights, let's say, speaking of Afghanistan, for the sake of imperialism, is like as Britain was invading the Indian subcontinent, they were saying, well, look at this phenomenon of bride burning. Isn't this so terrible? Don't we need to, save these women from, despotism? And then if you look at the position of women in the collection of, heterogeneous societies in the Indian subcontinent, before and after Britain conquered them, they were far less empowered afterwards. that was an objectively terrible set of events for women in the Indian subcontinent. But they'll take a they'll use a particular phenomenon, for instance, bride burning, imperialism, and say this is justification for our conquest. We need to save them, and then it turns out that it's never actually about that. It's about all of the money they can make after they conquer it, and that has never changed. That is still how foreign policy works. Crazy. Oh shit, did I fucking close something? Oh no. Stupid fucking stop it. Oh my goodness. Quit iTunes. Is that... Sorry, it might have fucked up there. Is it weird? Did it fuck up the feed? I think it's fine. So it's any application that pops up, I'm like, oh, it's gonna fuck it up. It's fine, okay. Because on the replay, it's really delayed for me. So I was worried that it's like the audio. Okay. It's weird because I'm looking at myself. Sekrios, I think. Thank you for the 4 months. Resub for the closed chair. Thank you. Thank you. I need to buy a $7,000 clothes chair. What was I saying? $2.7 million chair. I need it. Yeah, the caste. Yeah, right. Caste system was bad. It was made much worse by the Brits. Which is interesting. I always think about this in terms of like phenol and decolonization. And the still existing caste system in, let's say, India, and the legacy of particularly the British sort of impact on that. Because like Fanon writes about how, you know, decolonization is always a violent phenomena. Although I guess I can talk about this because I don't know what else to talk about. There's a certain respect because people are like, what is Fanon talking about? He's writing in the 60s. He says decolonization is always violence. What about Gandhi? Gandhi was nonviolent, which is always a really weird. I don't think that's a valid critique of Fanon for multiple reasons. One of which, of course, is that decolonization in the Indian subcontinent was violent. It was quite violent, especially in relation to even like British responses to something like nonviolent movement like Gandhi, but also because that was not the only force that led towards decolonization. But additionally, I think you could argue from the Fanon perspective that like that form of decolonization was not the ideal. That like when Fanon speaks of real decolonization, that as far as I understand, quite a few of the Gandhi was a casteist, right? Do you have streams where you just talk yourself, like what music you like? No, I'm weird and I only talk about politics. I guess we sort of talked about music before, but no, I'm weird. I'm like this in real life too. Gandhi also got shot. That is, although that was not a. I guess that was wasn't it an Indian nationalist that shot Gandhi? Am I wrong about that? But you could argue that a lot of the structure of imperialism, like the imperial colonial structure, is a Hindu nationalist. Yes, right, Hindu nationalist. Oh, it's by the military wing of the BJP. Oh, right. Brain too rankly to shut up. That's true. It's also weird though. Yeah. I think of this in like no, Myanmar, not Burma. I guess that you can call them both. That like they quite literally still have. I guess I don't know how this has been affected recently, but the parliamentary system they had after decolonization was literally just they replaced the monarch was no longer the British Queen, and the British left, and it was literally the same structure. So I think one of the responses that Fanon could make to like, well, decolonization in India was nonviolent, is like, and to what extent was that element of it not ensured that decolonization didn't go far enough? And this is a problem Fanon is sort of reconciling with even in like the African situation in terms of decolonization, is like, how do you not just simply reproduce the colonial relationship after the Europeans leave, but with a national caste or national class of like middlemen who perpetuate the same relationship between the metropole and the hinterland and everything else, but they take a certain amount of it while European companies continue to benefit and exploit. Because, yeah. And Fanon was sort of trying to deal with that in the later half of Wretched of the Earth. We had a Wretched of the Earth reading series a while ago. And you could argue to a larger extent for quite a few countries that wasn't, that later step didn't happen. Glass Beat Game, that's sort of post-colonial stuff, you know. Glass Beat Game, thank you for the gift sub. It's funny that Labor Day here is yeah, it is Labor Day today. Which is funny, cause yeah, real Labor Day is May Day, but they're like, we need a new non-communist Labor Day. Let's get another one. Yeah, Flynn's pronunciation of Myanmar is great. Myanmar. Why did Canada copy America? When does it not? Is the question. When does it never not? That's the problem. I saw a fucking such a painful statistic that makes me want a parody satire. About how 40% of Canadians, and this is like a sample size of 2,000, so who fucking knows, but 44% of Canadians, according to the sample size of 1,000, are, quote, comfortable with private healthcare options. And that's like the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. And because the reason it's insane, because it's like, that's literally just a conservative American talking point that is, I think, to a large extent, literally like internalized by certain Canadians because they only consume American content. And so if you're a Canadian conservative, you agree with the fucking conservative American guy on the radio about how much better private healthcare is. Obviously, a lot of it is capitalists in Canada as well wanting that change, but it's still such a bizarre. Because I don't know, like, in France, how many French people are like, I would like to open up an option for private healthcare. We should have more private healthcare here. If anyone can find that for any, like, Western European country, it's not going to be 44%. There's no fucking way in hell. Do Canadians ever choose to go private? Like they have an option to go public? I don't think so. I have not heard of that. Because it's the difference in quality stuff doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Maybe in the Netherlands. There's been some pretty bad anti-lockdown stuff in the Netherlands too, right? All the wealthy people go private in the UK. Yeah, I haven't heard, as far as Albertan conservative parties want two system stuff. Yeah, right. Even the Tories in the UK pay lip service. Well, yeah, the Conservative Party does that too. Oh fuck! I did not watch the debate. There was a French national debate in Canada because we have a French one and an English one because French is one of our national languages. And apparently it was somewhat interesting. I wanted to watch some of that. I wonder, is the English one happened yet? I wanted to know how. I think I was like, I wanted to know how good O'Toole's French is, because the conservative French debate was so fucking funny because they're so bad at French. The conservatives are like an Anglo party, really. Very little support in Quebec. Like, is there any riding in Quebec that's conservative? Oh no, I guess there's a couple. There's a couple. Never mind. Um, yeah, I was thinking of that's when I said never mind. Bernier's one, because Bernier is still that district is still conservative. Vijay Prashad speaks on caste. Oh, interesting. Thank you. Struggle inevitably gets simultaneously considered. Right. Areas around Quebec City. Right. Okay. Is O'Toole from Montreal? Oh, okay. Yeah, O'Toole's French was fine though, but a couple of the other ones, other French candidates were not particularly good. Their French was not is not on point. But as far as I understand, in that debate, like O'Toole's messaging on healthcare was like, of course we don't want to affect what exists right now. It's just it would be good if we also had private options. So even like there's lip surface because I think people understand the way that it's being introduced or attempting to be introduced is like, but wouldn't you want more options? Which is, peak capitalist consumer. Like, no, I don't fucking. I want everyone to have the best possible option. I don't. Um, I'm streaming from Hassan's closet. He doesn't know I'm here. His house is big enough that I can hide in it. Rent free, baby. Um, how much French can you speak? I can understand basic conversations in French. That's around where I am. I think if I moved to like Montreal, I would become fluent. But if I don't, which I might at some point, it's a beautiful city. Do my master's there or my PhD. I speak no Spanish whatsoever. Montreal, cheapest city in Major Canada, right? I might, I would, yeah. But otherwise, I don't think I would become like fluent. And I can read fucking Deleuze and Foucault in their original. I actually find Fanon. I take a decent amount if I try it. Like Wretched of the Earth in French, Le Dame de la Terre isn't too bad. No, I'm doing a PhD. I know it's a trap. I don't care. I love school. If you read Deleuze in French, find out it's all nonsense. That would be yeah. It's a fake. Deleuze is a fake person invented by like the English to French translator, philosophy translator industry to sell more books. It's all just nonsense. Um, in the pocket of big French. That's like a thing in early in Slavoj Žižek's career. There was a like the French intellectuals that saw some of his writing thought that he was like a made up, an invented person, like a Slovenian, Lacanian, Hegelian, and like all the ridiculous shit he said. Yeah, Zizek rocks. I there's a certain respect in like I feel like this is only the case in his debates. You can get good philosophy out of nonsense. Doesn't matter if it's nonsense. That's a good point. Um, there's a really funny thing. It's a conversation. I think we talked about this on stream before. The conversation between Freud. It's between Foucault and some English philosopher, some Anglo philosopher. Where the Anglo philosopher is like, well, yeah, Foucault, but like 20% of your work is like nonsense. And Foucault responded that to be able to be published in France, at least 20% of your work has to be nonsense. Like you published as a philosopher to be taken seriously. Yeah. Um, the Perfect Guides movies are good. Yeah, that's a classic. Good film critique, and film critique that I like because it's not it less of an emphasis on technical stuff and more on like philosophy. There's something else I was gonna say. I can't remember. When Zizek self-inserts into the Matrix. Yeah, those like green screen shots are cute. Oh yeah, but Zizek sort of does the. I need to get a Zizek impression. That'd be funny. Zizek sort of does the thing Deleuze does, but only in like debates, where he'll be like, "Actually, I'm agreeing with you." Adam Curtis is good. Adam Curtis is like Mark Fisher if he didn't have like exact politics. Like Curtis's politics are sort of weird, especially in his recent film. Like he misses sometimes. He's not specific in places he should be, and he pushes like his recent film was about like he's considered, yeah. Where like Fisher is able to articulate a similar sort of malaise about culture and society, but he's able to do it in a way that's like good. um, and it's because of its sort of specificity. The recent film was one of his worst. I heard that he like. So this is a Don Hughes tweet. Let me read it out. Maybe I'll try watching an Adam Curtis documentary. I heard they were good. Adam Curtis. In the beginning, Jian Cheng was a psycho bitch who tried to cast and couch her way into fame, but her essential feminine insanity drove her in. I don't get that reference. Towards socialism? I don't. Who's that person? I. Oh shit! Fucking Jesus Christ! I almost fell. I'm not gonna fall. It's fine. Oh, Mao's wife. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. She was a member of the Gang of Four, right? Yeah. I'm not. It's the problem is it's really uncomfortable to sit on this fucking suitcase. It's a hardcover, but it's like There's a TrueAnon episode in the doc. Because yeah, the news doc like sort of says that some conspiracy theories are real that aren't, or something, or treats them on the same level of validity as like real sort of. Oh shoot. Oh, this is the streamer mode. Now I can see all the followers and shit. Okay. I don't know how I just got to here. Did I dye my hair? This is my natural color. Um, I think I might call it here. Is there anything else we can talk about? What is it? Bottle? Just a water bottle. I didn't have one, so I bought one. Maybe give my little computer a break. Thank you to Mike for rating me again. What am I doing tomorrow? I'll probably go live on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Because that's my new time zone. So 3 hours earlier. Who should I raid? How do I fucking raid on this? I'm worried I'm gonna fuck this up. Let me raid Hannah Reloaded because they always raid me and I've never raided them. I feel like Hannah Reloaded. I'm gonna have to spell this correctly. Okay, goodbye everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday. I can't see the chat right now. Very cozy stream. Wednesday one will be like this again because I don't have my computer yet until Thursday. So I don't know how this fucking works. Did I do it? Is there a raid? Oh, it is. Oh, it works. Okay. It's worked. I can't do it on my Mac, so I'm doing it on my. Okay, I'm ready. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.